Chapter 564. Did he say anything about hairstyling? Lu Shuang glanced at Shen Yiyan. He didn't want to say anything about clothes so that Hua Zixing wouldn't feel bad. The designers will need about half an hour to get here, Shen Yiyan explained. Shuang, come to my room first. I haven't had time to design your clothes yet. You can choose 2 sets from my room. I have a lot of clothes that I haven't worn before. Which one do you like? Hua Zixing said with a smile. So, she knew. Shen Yiyan really told her everything. She didn't have to worry anymore. Thank you. Can I choose one? I'll choose 2 sets. The designer is in a hurry. It'll take 2 to 3 days to make some changes. 1 set isn't enough. I'll have to use it tonight and tomorrow. Maybe the day after tomorrow too. Hua Zixing walked upstairs. Lu Shuang was embarrassed. Hua Zixing was too nice to him. She felt that Hua Zixing was more like Shen Yiyan's sister than his wife. She sighed. If her husband brought another woman to her house, she would cut off her husband's penis that night. So, Hua Zixing was a goddess and she was a loser. She followed Hua Zixing to her room. Her room was clean and luxurious. It was decorated like the room of a princess in a dream. Hua Zixing opened the walk-in closet and looked around. It was magnificent. Rows of clothes, shoes, bags, and even jewelry were all placed in glass cabinets. I haven't worn the clothes in the last row. You can take all the jewelry you like. I don't usually wear them, Hua Zixing said generously. I have jewelry. I'll choose 2 sets of clothes. Thank you, Lu Shuang said. You're welcome. In the future, we will be sisters. On the contrary, you are the one who has helped me a lot. I can see that after you came, Ian's mood is much better than before. The atmosphere in this house is also much better. I like this kind of harmonious and beautiful environment, Hua Zixing said gently. You are so perfect. If I were a man, would definitely cherish you, Lu Shuang said sincerely. I'm embarrassed. Hua Zixing covered her face and walked to the last row, gesturing for Lu Shuang to choose. Lu Shuang picked 2 sets. The designer is coming over today. You should make a few sets too. I will pay. Yi Yan has already asked me to make a few sets, but look. Hua Zixing glanced at her wardrobe helplessly. I have so many clothes that I haven't worn yet. If I change into a different set every day, I can change it for 365 days. If I have too many clothes, I'll be dazzled. Your character is quite similar to a friend of mine. Lu Shuang thought of Baiya. She's the same. She doesn't pursue material things. She's pure and indifferent. I'm just worried that I haven't given you enough and that there will be estrangement. You don't have to feel burdened. Shen Yiyan and I aren't what you think. You don't have to worry about me, really, Hua Zixing said sincerely. Lu Shuang twitched his lips. He didn't say anything else and took the clothes out. The designer will be here in a while. Put it on and let them make some alterations to make it more suitable for you, Hua Zixing reminded him. I really want to see which man is so lucky to be able to make you like him, Lu Shuang sighed. Hua Zixing pursed her lips and smiled. I'm not as good as you say. I have a congenital heart disease and can't do strenuous exercise. I can't have babies either. Whoever likes me will be the unlucky one. Nowadays, with the advancement of medicine, you will definitely be able to see better. There are also many heart bypass surgeries. Aren't they still fine? You will be fine, Lu Shuang comforted her and went out. Shen Yiyan was no longer watching television. He was watching television purely to accompany her. After all, he had a lot of work to do. He had things that he should do, things that he wanted to do, and things that were related to the future. After a while, the designer came over. She tried on the clothes first, and the stylist recorded the data. She designed what needed to be designed, and modified what needed to be modified. After she was done, she sat in front of the mirror, and the stylist restyled her hair. Looking at herself in the mirror, she thought of Baya. It had been 5 years since they had their hair done together. At that time, Shanian hadn't appeared yet. Her father had asked her to go on a blind date and she had her hair done together with Baya. I want to cut my hair short. Can I? The kind that's very short, Lu Shuang said to the designer. The designer smiled and said politely, what kind of girl would cut her hair short? You're going to wear a gown, so you can cut your hair short. But don't make it too short. Then I'll keep my hair long. It wasn't easy for me to grow it this long. Lu Shuang regretted. The designer was speechless. Lu Shuang was probably the most fickle person he had ever met. Okay. No one knew when Shanian had appeared. He crossed his arms over his chest and leaned against the door frame. Looking at Lu Shuang, who was being styled, a charming light flashed through his eyes. The frivolity of youth had long been swallowed by him. He was mature, shrewd, introverted, and scheming beyond his age. For the family, for the complicated relationships and interests, he had sacrificed his time, love, and happiness. Only in front of her could he show his truest self. Because she was the most real person he had ever met. Lu Shuang noticed Shen Yiyan and rolled his eyes at him. Why did he want her to go? She would rather stay in her own space and sleep. Now, he had to do his hair and borrow clothes from his wife. Come here. Shen Yiyan smiled and walked towards him. Lu Shuang looked at her. I think you should change your hairstyle too. Haven't you been very unlucky recently? You want me to accompany you? Shen Yiyan saw through her at first glance. It's for your own good. Lu Shuang said confidently. Shen Yiyan said to the designer next to her, help me change my hairstyle. Make it more stable. Yes. The designer nodded respectfully. His men brought over a chair. Shen Yiyan sat down next to her. Lu Shuang looked at Shen Yiyan in the mirror. He kept staring at her with a meaningful look. He stared at her and she stared back at him. She didn't know what was so interesting about her. She just had 2 eyes and a mouth. The look in her eyes reminded her of the 2nd year of junior high school. He was asked to recite Peacock Flies Southeast by the language teacher in front of the lecture. He looked at her with a meaningful look, which made her feel uncomfortable. In the end, the teacher asked her to also stand in front of the podium and recite Peacock Flies Southeast. Peacock Flies Southeast was so difficult to recite. It was like classical Chinese and there were many rare words. Most importantly, she didn't prepare it at all, so she couldn't recite a single sentence. Then, the 2 of them stood in front of the podium and stared at each other awkwardly and shamefully. Hello everyone, I am Qin Tang Tang. You can follow me on WeChat. Chapter 565. Why do you keep looking at me? Lu Shuang could not help but ask. Shen Yiyan was indifferent, his lips curling into a devilish smile. Under the lights, he was mesmerizing. You didn't look at me. How would you know that I was looking at you? Lu Shuang, she recalled something else. It was also during the 2nd year of junior high. In order to welcome the Labor Day holiday, her classmates had organized an entertainment program. She had signed up for dancing. In order to dance well, her mother had even brought her to the gym to get a private coach to practice. In the afternoon, everyone was rehearsing. Shen Yiyan was there too. He had signed up for a piano recital. She heard that he had not signed up for it at first. Later on, he had to sign up and even squeezed out a classmate's poetry recital. Who asked him to be so handsome and his father to be the provincial party secretary at that time? The teachers would not dare to offend him. During the rehearsal, he had looked at her with that same gaze. At that time, she was still in the prime of her youth. Even though she did not like Shen Yiyan, when a guy paid attention to her, there would always be some pink bubbles in her heart. It reminded her of many youthful stories. In the end, when she performed on stage that night, she was ridiculed by her classmates. She danced quite well, but there was a hole in her stockings. She was very sure that there was no hole when she wore it in the morning. After thinking about it, she thought of a detail. Shen Yiyan seemed to have used a pair of scissors to cut something during the rehearsal in the afternoon. She knew that his sudden appearance was definitely not something good. Given her personality, she ran over to him and questioned him. One of the things she said was, "Why do you keep looking at me?" He laughed wildly and wickedly. "If you don't look at me, how would you know that I'm looking at you?" She was so angry that she wanted to vomit blood. When she regained her composure, she asked Shen Yiyan in disdain, "What are you up to again?" Shen Yiyan curled his lips. He did not say a word and looked at himself in the mirror. She hated this mysterious look of his the most. She could not guess his thoughts and always felt that she would be in trouble. In the future, she would learn from him and let him know how she was feeling right now. His hair was quickly designed and he went to work. The stylist spent 2 hours on her hair and another half an hour on her makeup. Finally, she changed into the gorgeous gown that Hua Ziying had given her. She looked at herself in the mirror. When she didn't speak, she looked really noble and elegant. Every frown and smile was extremely charming. Wasn't it a little shameless for her to describe herself like this? Alright, it was only when she didn't speak and was pretending. When he turned around, he saw Shen Yiyan standing at the door. He didn't know when she had returned. He looked at her and said, "Be more dignified at night. Don't talk if you can, and don't fool around. You're my assistant, and you have to stay by my side at all times. Do you understand?" Lu Shuang was a little worried. "Don't embarrass me on purpose." Shen Yiyan smiled. "I will try my best to stop you." Lu Shuang had the urge to beat him up, but he held back. "What time is it? I'll eat something first and go with you. I promise I won't embarrass you." Shen Yiyan looked at his watch. "It's almost 5 o'clock. We're going to the venue now. It's arranged for the banquet hall. I've asked someone to buy some bread. You can eat it in the car." Ha! So he had already prepared it. It really made her feel uncomfortable. Was he that worried that she would embarrass herself? In the car, Shen Yiyan and Hua Ziying sat in the same car. She sat in the same car with Nan Gongyu and a makeup artist. Nan Gongyu sat in the front passenger seat, and she sat with the makeup artist. She ignored Nan Gongyu and ate her bread. The banquet hall is filled with the most unique dishes in Country A. You had lunch after 1, right? Are you hungry now? Nan Gongyu tried not to sound disdainful after being lectured by Hua Ziying. Huh, yeah. Lu Shuang didn't want to explain. She was under a lot of pressure. Shen Yiyan was the president. If she made a mistake, wouldn't she embarrass the president? It didn't matter if Shen Yiyan embarrassed himself, but he represented the country. She would embarrass the people of the country. Moreover, she needed Shen Yiyan's help. For the time being, she didn't want anything to happen to Shen Yiyan. Nan Gongyu couldn't hide her disdain and the corner of her mouth twitched. Lu Shuang pretended not to see it and continued to eat her bread. After she finished eating, the makeup artist touched up her makeup. Soon, they arrived at the banquet hall. The surrounding roads had been sealed off and there were many soldiers standing guard. All the departments had to ensure that nothing went wrong. The guards opened their car door. Lu Shuang got out of the car and looked at Shen Yiyan. He had already gotten out of the car. Hua Ziying was holding his arm and smiling. They walked on the red carpet together. They looked like a loving couple. The guards followed them in an orderly manner. She saw Nan Gongyu follow Hua Ziying quickly. As Shen Yiyan's assistant, she also lifted the hem of her dress and quickly followed Shen Yiyan, standing behind him. Shen Yiyan saw Lu Shuang from the corner of her eyes. She secretly held her hand and then let go. Lu Shuang straightened his back. His heart was beating so fast that it almost jumped out of his throat. What was Shen Yiyan doing just now? What if he was photographed? However, there seemed to be no reporters around. Those who could protect him were probably his confidants. Who knew? The one who wanted to kill her might also be one of Shen Yi's confidants. They passed through the corridor and the soldiers opened the door. There was light music playing inside. It was really luxurious. There were more people than she had expected. She had seen the man from F country in a magazine. He was said to be the youngest prime minister of F country. His wife was older than him by 12 years. She followed him because she was gossipy. At that time, she felt that he was quite handsome. His wife looked elegant and had the maturity and elegance of a woman in her 50s. However, the age difference was too big. At first glance, they looked more like mother and son. Women always looked older than men. She subconsciously looked at Shen Yi. She was also older than him. In another 15 years, if they were still together, how could they still be together? She was thinking too much. Shen Yi walked forward and smiled. She reached out and shook hands with the Prime Minister of F country. She could feel the strong aura of a king. He was speaking in F country. She could not understand a single word. When did Shen Yi learn to speak F country? Seeing that they were all smiling, she smiled too. There was nothing wrong with that. The Prime Minister's wife brought a gift for Hua Ziying. Hua Ziying also spoke F country and gave the gift to Nan Gongyu. Take a seat. Shen Yi said something in F country. She could understand it. A country had a strong dining culture. For example, the host of the banquet would sit at the seat facing the door. The most important guest would sit at the right side of the host. The wife of the host would sit at the door. As the assistant, Lu Shuang sat at the left side of Shen Yi. Chapter 566. His palms were very warm and hot, and he was very strong when he held her hand. Lu Shuang's face turned red. He was so nervous. The Prime Minister was sitting right next to him. He was too bold. What if he was found out? She pulled her hand away and he didn't force her. He just looked at her deeply. Lu Shuang glared back. Hua Zixing saw it and raised her head slightly with a smile. The others sat down one after another. She didn't care about politics. She didn't know any of those VIPs and didn't dare to eat casually in case she made a fool of herself. Most importantly, they had been talking in Mandarin F, and she didn't understand them. She looked at the others. They probably didn't understand either, so they just smiled and didn't say much. She felt better. It was an honor to see these VIPs making a fool of themselves with her. In the middle of the meal, Shen Yi looked at her again. She saw Shen Yi looking at her. She gestured with her eyes, as if asking what was going on. Pour the wine, Shen Yi said in a low voice. She understood. Holding the wine bottle, she stood up and poured wine for the Prime Minister, then for the Prime Minister's wife, and finally for Shen Yi. The Prime Minister looked at Lu Shuang and said. Lu Shuang looked at Shen Yi and smiled. That man who could turn the world upside down also said something. She didn't understand what he said. She just saw the Prime Minister looking at her and talking. Why did he speak in Mandarin F? She didn't understand. Welcome to country A, hee, she said in Mandarin A, which meant that she didn't need to speak in English. Who asked them to speak in Mandarin F? The others who couldn't hear F country's language all raised their glasses and said with a smile, welcome to a country. They didn't want to make the atmosphere awkward and found that they had a chance to speak. The Prime Minister paused and looked at Shen Yi. Shen Yi smiled and chatted with him. I'm sorry, the Prime Minister said to Lu Shuang in English. It's okay, Lu Shuang replied in English. She then said in English, welcome to a land. At the end of the day, she was not a person who held a grudge easily. Unless it was a big grudge, she would never take it to heart. She lowered her head and ate. Shen Yi handed her a disposable towel. Lu Shuang thought something was on his face, so he wiped his lips with his towel. Except for lipstick, there was no sauce. She hated Shen Yi. When she finally finished eating, she didn't dare to eat much. However, she wasn't really hungry. After dinner, they went to the symphony again. Lu Shuang was arranged to sit behind Shen Yiyan. In front of him were the Prime Minister and his wife and Shen Yiyan and his wife. How extravagant. There were more people watching the symphony than listening to it. Lu Shuang didn't have any special interest in symphonies, nor did he hate them. He changed a few familiar songs into symphonies, which sounded good. Unknowingly, after listening for 2 hours, she yawned. Nan Gongyu glared at her, very displeased. Lu Shuang felt the hostility of the person next to him. He sat up straight and forced himself to look at Shen Yiyan. He was very patient, noble and elegant. He exuded the aura of royalty, which made him a pleasing picture. Why didn't she notice it when she was young? If she had noticed it earlier, she would have hidden far away from him. Shen Yiyan also looked at her, raising his eyebrows and curling his lips. For a moment, he looked especially evil, like the Shen Yiyan in junior high. However, it was only for a moment, and he returned to being a cultured and sophisticated dignitary. When Lu Shuang saw Nan Gongyu leaving, she immediately followed her out. She found a place where there was no one, twisted her neck and stretched her waist. She heard Shen Yiyan's laughter. She turned and saw Shen Yiyan. She ran to him and said, "Did you listen to that sumo wrestling story and deliberately made fun of me?" Shen Yiyan naturally put his hands on her waist. "I made fun of you, so I took you to Beijing Opera. Then can you not ask me for such things in the future? I feel a little bored." Lu Shuang requested. "Let me kiss you first." Shen Yiyan showed the side of his face to her. "If anyone sees you, you will be dead." Lu Shuang reminded her. "There is no one here except for me and you." "I am sure of it," Shen Yiyan said confidently. "Oh yes, why did you come out? Are you done with the Prime Minister? Can we go back now?" Lu Shuang suddenly realized. He tightened his grip on her waist. "Don't change the subject." Lu Shuang looked around helplessly. Indeed, there was no one around. She quickly kissed his face. Shen Yiyan smiled and kissed her face before he was satisfied. "Let's go, it should be over in 10 minutes. When it is over, we will go back and you can sleep in tomorrow. I heard from your wife that you are going to invite them to your house for dinner tomorrow. I don't have to show up." Lu Shuang tried to negotiate. "From now on, you will have to do whatever Hua Zixing wants to do. You should learn from her," Shen Yiyan said seriously. Lu Shuang had a strange feeling in her heart. Was he really going to marry her? Lu Shuang shuddered. The thought of it made him panic. Unconsciously, he followed Shen Yiyan into the house. Just as he expected, it was over in 10 minutes. Shen Yiyan and the Prime Minister were walking in front, talking happily in English. Lu Shuang finally understood what they were talking about. They were talking about football. She still did not understand. When they walked out of the corridor, the captain of Shen Yiyan's bodyguard stood at the side and signaled to Shen Yiyan. "Sorry, please excuse me." Shen Yiyan walked to the captain. "Mr. President, it's not good. Some of our guards have sneaked in. I've already arranged a new way. When the time comes, I'll have to trouble you to follow me." The guard reported. "Got it. Investigate as soon as possible and ensure the Prime Minister's safety," Shen Yiyan ordered. When he saw a person running towards him from the corridor, a sharp light flashed in his eyes. He ordered vigilantly, "Stop him." When the soldiers saw the person coming, they quickly moved to protect Shen Yiyan, Hua Zixing, and the Prime Minister couple. As Lu Shuang was arranged to follow them later, no one was protecting Lu Shuang. She stood in front alone. Shen Yiyan's heart skipped a beat. She did not care about her own safety and rushed towards Lu Shuang. Lu Shuang was scared too. She had seen the same scene once in Country D. Similarly, there were people rushing towards her. Alan's men blocked them. Unexpectedly, the person who shot her was the one in the car. Her mother died trying to protect her. She looked at the other subconsciously. With her sharp eyes, she saw that the person opposite her was holding a knife and was stabbing at the Prime Minister. She had a bad feeling. Prime Minister, be careful. With that, she did not know where she got the courage to stand in front of the Prime Minister. The person did not expect there to be another person. He was stunned and continued to stab at Lu Shuang. She thought that she was dead meat. She was so stupid. Why would she sacrifice herself for a person she did not know? In the past, it was for Baiya. Now, it was for a stranger. She was crying because of her stupidity. Chapter 567. She was worried about Xiao Bao. She didn't want to die. Seeing the knife coming towards her heart, she was stunned. That was all she could think of. At that critical moment, Shen Yiyan jumped over and kicked the knife out of the assassin's hand. Seeing that he was no match for Shen Yiyan, the other guards rushed towards him. He broke through the glass and jumped down from the building. Shen Yiyan couldn't care less about the assassin's whereabouts. She held Lu Shuang's shoulder and scolded him emotionally. Are you okay? Are you stupid? If he hadn't been stunned just now, you would have died. Lu Shuang came back to his senses. He could tell that Shen Yiyan was scolding him. He felt wronged too. I protected your Prime Minister. If it wasn't for me, he would have gone to their Western paradise and died in your country. Let's see how you're going to explain it to Country F. You're the stupid one, and you're blaming me. Shen Yiyan knew that it was all thanks to Lu Shuang. But to him, Lu Shuang was more important than the Prime Minister. If something happened to her, his life would be filled with darkness and he would lose all joy in life. Seeing her red eyes, he felt sorry for her. He pulled her into his arms and hugged her tightly. His body was trembling because he was afraid of losing her. Hua Zixing's face turned pale for a moment. Lu Shuang saw that there were so many people watching and pushed her hard. He knew that he shouldn't be impulsive, so he let go of her and said in a low voice, "You've done a good job this time. I'll reward you on Monday." When he said that, it seemed that the hug was just a compliment from the president to the people around him. Hua Zixing smiled and said, "Lu Shuang, you did a great job." Lu Shuang pursed his lips and didn't say anything. Now that he thought about it, he was still a little scared. She didn't know what she was thinking at that time, but her brain was filled with blood and she stood in front of the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister was also very grateful. He turned around and hugged Lu Shuang. He said in the language of Country A, "Thank you." Shen Yiyan's face instantly turned pale. However, she couldn't lose her temper. Lu Shuang smiled and said, "You're welcome. It's what I should do." He looked at the Prime Minister with approval and appreciation in his eyes. Frowning slightly, he stood in front of the Prime Minister and ordered Lu Shuang seriously, "You go back with Colonel Qing first. I approve your request just now." What did she ask for? Tomorrow, he invited the Prime Minister to his house for a meal. Could she not show up? I don't have to attend such banquets in the future. That was great. Lu Shuang beamed and nodded. Mr. President is wise. Good night, Mr. President. Best wishes to Mr. President. Shen Yiyan saw that she was smiling so sweetly. If he hadn't stopped her just now, she would still be smiling now. He would teach him a lesson when he returned. Colonel Qing stepped forward and led Lu Shuang away. The Prime Minister looked at Lu Shuang's back and praised, "Women are not inferior to men. A delicate girl like you has the spirit of sacrificing herself for others. Your country is indeed admirable. I will definitely convince our president to cooperate with us this time. Then I'll have to trouble you. I'll get someone to send you back." Shen Yiyan smiled politely and signaled to the leader of the guards with her eyes. The leader of the guards understood and nodded. They had to strengthen the security today. Nangong Yu's face was as dark as it could get. She didn't expect that Lu Shuang would make such a great contribution as soon as he arrived. She looked at Hua Zixing. Hua Zixing was still smiling. She looked kind and didn't seem to mind. On the way, Shen Yiyan and Hua Zixing parted ways. Madam, I think you should teach Lu Shuang a lesson. If this goes on, her position will be higher than yours, Nan Gongyu said angrily. Hua Zixing looked ahead without batting an eyelid. If you were the one protecting the Prime Minister today, I might have arranged for you to work for the President tomorrow. I suspect that it was Lu Shuang's man. Otherwise, how would she dare to do that? Nan Gongyu said pitifully. It can't be her man. Although he was stunned for a moment, his target was not the Prime Minister, but Lu Shuang's heart. If it wasn't for Shen Yiyan, Lu Shuang would be dead by now. Hua Zixing saw it clearly. The assassin wanted to kill Lu Shuang. Ah, his target is Lu Shuang? Who is it? Nan Gongyu was surprised. I don't know. His target was the Prime Minister at first, but after he saw Lu Shuang, he changed his target. Don't be jealous of her and hate her all the time. Pleasing Shen Yiyan is the most important thing, Hua Zixing reminded her. Nan Gongyu felt even more wronged. She pouted higher than her nose. I want to please her too, but the President won't give me a chance. The opportunity is right in front of you, but you don't know how to cherish it. Just wait and see. I will remind you when the time comes, Hua Zixing said helplessly. President's Palace. Lu Shuang had just finished showering and was lying on the bed when the door opened. She saw the travel-worn Shen Yiyan and sat up. You're back pretty fast. Shen Yiyan saw that she was fine, so he knocked her head. You're really brave. Do you want to die? He knocked her head hard. Lu Shuang held his head. Are you kidding me? You're trying to get back at me again. Didn't I pass? Besides, I did it all for you. Shen Yiyan's eyes were filled with tenderness. Even his breathing became nervous. He said very seriously, Can I assume that I'm in your heart? Lu Shuang paused for a moment. She had saved the Prime Minister because she was out of her mind. She did not think too much about it. If she had a second to think, she would definitely not have stood in front of the Prime Minister rashly. However, it was definitely a good thing for Shen Yiyan to let his guard down. It would be easy for her to take revenge and leave. She was not smart, but she was not stupid either. Lu Shuang nodded. Shen Yiyan smiled. He did not hide the surprise and excitement in his eyes. He lowered his head and kissed her on the lips. Lu Shuang was worried endlessly. She was really tired today. She covered her lips and said, I've already brushed my teeth. I'm going to sleep. He looked at her deeply. She was the only one in his dark eyes. He did not force her. Wait for me. He went into the bathroom, brushed his teeth and showered. She did not want to wait. She switched off the lights and closed her eyes. However, she did not fall asleep immediately. She pretended to doze off. Shen Yiyan came out wearing only a towel. His hair had been washed and dried in the bathroom. He saw that Lu Shuang's eyes were closed and she was not moving at all. How could he not know whether she was asleep or not? With such a gentle sleeping posture, he was 100% sure that she was not asleep. He did not expose her. He lifted the blanket and lay down beside her. He switched off the lights and only left the wall lamp on. He placed his hand on Lu Shuang's waist. Shuang, if you're free tomorrow, go to the hospital to remove the ring. Lu Shuang was stunned. She was scared out of her wits. How could she still pretend to be asleep? She turned her head and looked at him. Why? Chapter 568. Lu Shuang felt the need to have a good talk with him. She turned around and faced Shen Yiyan. She said seriously, It's not appropriate for us to have a child now. Firstly, I'm by your side. No matter what, I'm a celebrity. A celebrity by the president's side is not married but is pregnant. Anyone with a bad brain would be able to guess that it's yours. Secondly, it wasn't easy for me to lose weight and have my current figure. Once I get pregnant, I'll gain weight. Moreover, the focus will shift to the child. Thirdly, you'll definitely be distracted, right? You'll have another weakness for others, right? Shen Yiyan looked at her with a burning gaze. Firstly, we're preparing for pregnancy. We don't know when we'll be pregnant. Secondly, when your stomach gets bigger, I'll arrange another place for you to wait for delivery in peace. No one will find out, so there won't be any gossip that you're worried about. Thirdly, you used to be fat, but I didn't despise you. So, I won't despise you when you grow fat in the future. Fourthly, as for the child's education, I have a good confinement nanny and tutors to accompany our child. You don't have to worry about it. Fifth, as long as you're strong enough, there's nothing to be afraid of. Lu Shuang couldn't win against him in an argument, so he said shamelessly, I don't want to. Shen Yiyan looked at her fixedly. Because of the dim light, she couldn't see what was in his eyes, but she could vaguely tell that it wasn't a good thing. She felt a chill down her spine and explained, I haven't had enough of a two-person life. Many people around me are married, so I don't have as much time as a couple. I don't have the passion of a boyfriend or girlfriend. After I give birth to a child, it becomes even less. I'm almost 30, and I'm about to reach the age of a wolf. It's not good to be pregnant at that time. You've already given birth to a child for me. Have I not given you one? Shen Yiyan didn't agree. Lu Shuang was embarrassed. Aren't we not married yet? I'm not married now either. Lu Shuang, that's why we can't have children. After she said that, she felt that her words were contradictory. She didn't want to argue with Shen Yiyan anymore. She turned her back to him. Shen Yiyan was silent, and so was Lu Shuang. After more than 10 minutes, Shen Yiyan asked, Are you asleep? Lu Shuang pursed his lips and said nothing. You're not going to answer? Then I'll do it directly, Shen Yiyan warned. I'm falling asleep, Lu Shuang said unwillingly. Shen Yiyan sneered and turned around, trapping her in his shadow. Before she could react, he lowered his head and kissed her lips. Lu Shuang pushed him away. He didn't want it. The weather now was very cold. Even though he had a heater, it was still cold. She had already showered and didn't want to shower after sex. Unfortunately, he didn't give her a chance to refuse. He held her hand that was pushing him and pressed it on top of her head. In the past, there were many preludes. This time, perhaps because he was unhappy, he lifted her leg anxiously. Lu Shuang was angry, but he couldn't break free. He twisted his waist and seemed more cooperative. Shen Yiyan, don't be like this. Aren't you like a wolf? Why do I feel that you don't want it at all? If you don't want it, just give me a child. If you're pregnant, I promise I won't touch you, Shen Yiyan said sarcastically, suppressing his anger. F***ck, Lu Shuang was furious. He pushed Shen Yiyan onto the bed. Am I your tool for giving birth? He held her waist, his eyes filled with passion as he looked at her. I have many tools, but I only want you, and only you. Don't you understand? Or do you really not understand why I'm doing this? Lu Shuang's brain wasn't very sharp at night. She really couldn't understand why he was so tongue-tied. But suddenly, a thought flashed through her mind. If her middle school or primary school classmates knew that she was together with Shen Yiyan and doing such things, what would they think? She remembered that Shen Yiyan was also the school hunk back then. F***ck, sleeping with a school hunk didn't seem to be a loss. She lowered her head and sucked Shen Yiyan's neck. It was easier to use her hands than her brain. Shen Yiyan didn't stop her. He held her waist and entered her again. Lu Shuang sat up and saw a red mark on his neck. He regretted it. It was too obvious and could be easily found. I'll use concealer tomorrow. He frowned and turned over again. Don't think about other things when you're doing it with me. Lu Shuang, the next day. When Lu Shuang woke up, Shen Yiyan was no longer there. She turned over and went back to sleep. Her eyes were closed, but her mind was very clear. She thought about what happened last night. So embarrassing, so embarrassing. The second time she and Shen Yiyan did it, it was a tug-of-war. She was angry and weak. After he purposely went easy on her, she was finally on top. The more she thought about it, the more annoyed she became. She shouted rhythmically, "Go." If Shen Yiyan shouted, she would have no chance to make a comeback. So annoying. She felt that she had to train harder in the future. But it seemed that there was still a huge difference in strength. It was better to rest. She picked up the phone on the bedside table and looked at the time. It was already 10:15. She didn't want to get up and played games on her phone. The door was pushed open. Shen Yiyan came in, well-dressed. She was in a good mood. She sat on the bed and said, "Lazy pig, the Prime Minister and his wife will be here soon. If you don't get up now, you won't be able to go out. Then I'm going to lie down for a day." "Get someone to send food up secretly," Lu Shuang said. Shen Yiyan smiled. Her gaze was very gentle. Slowly, it was doting and she was in love with him. Lu Shuang was startled. Did she think that she couldn't get out of bed because of him? This thought made her feel very embarrassed. She lifted the blanket and got up. "I feel like I'm still full of energy. I'll be lazy if I stay in bed. I'll go out for a walk." Shen Yiyan smiled even brighter. She turned around and hugged him. "It's not too late to do it again. Shen Yiyan, don't you think you're in love? This way, you won't be able to rest well and it's not good for your body. It will also distract you," Lu Shuang said directly. "I'm afraid that I won't be able to satisfy you. What if you run away?" he said seriously. Lu Shuang felt a little guilty. It's already enough. He didn't focus on this problem anymore. "Where are you going later?" "I'm just going to walk around the streets. I haven't gone shopping for a long time. Today is Saturday, so it should be lively. The assassin from yesterday hasn't been caught yet. It's easy to get ambushed if you go downtown. There are too many people, and it's not convenient for my people to protect you. Then do you have any good suggestions?" Lu Shuang said helplessly. "I'll be a little busy from noon until last night. Tomorrow morning, the Prime Minister and his wife will return home, so I'll be free." Chapter 569. Shen Yiyan scratched her nose. "You stay in the room today. I'll get someone to bring the computer over. You can play games in the room. I promise, it's the best configuration." "Huh?" Lu Shuang was disappointed. She rolled her eyes and fell onto the bed. "Play games?" "Heh," Shen Yiyan chuckled. "I'll be visiting France soon. I'll bring you there." Lu Shuang looked at the ceiling with her eyes drooping. She placed her right foot on her left knee and swung it. She would endure for a while. She would be free after she got her revenge. "Got it," Lu Shuang said lazily. Shen Yiyan sat by her bed and looked at her. "I just bought the copyright of a game. I tried it and it's quite interesting. I haven't released it yet. Do you want to give it a try?" "What genre is it?" Lu Shuang was curious. "It's based on a popular novel. There are police, doctors, lawyers, soldiers, architects, boxing champions, celebrities, students, and so on. There are 20 different professions. Each profession has its own skills. There are 10 zones in total. These zones are based on levels. For example, level 1 to 10 is in the first zone. Level 11 to 20 is in the second zone. There are individual competitions and team competitions. Take the first zone for example. If it's an individual competition, it'll be a small map. 80 people will be randomly selected. You can form an alliance and fight until there are only 3 people left. The winner will get 1,000 gold coins to buy equipment. If it's a team competition, it'll be a large map. 5 teams will be randomly selected. You can form an alliance, but it'll end when there's only one team left. Each team will be made up of 5 people. On average, each person will get 1,000 gold coins to buy equipment, Shen Yan explained. Are there any monsters in there? Lu Shuang asked. Yes. Those monsters have equipment or pieces of equipment. They can level up, but it's very slow. Killing heroes is the fastest way to level up. Can those equipment be bought with money? Of course. Otherwise, how can we make money in this game? From the 5th zone onwards, we can participate in a free-for-all battle. It's a huge map. The top 3 winners will get a cash prize, Shen Yan said patiently. Is there a bug? Lu Shuang's eyes lit up. The purpose of testing is to find bugs, fix them, and improve them. You aren't even listed yet. What do you want me to play? Lu Shuang was disinterested. Today, the people from my gaming company won't be at work. They'll be accompanying you to play games. Your current account is your lifetime account. There are 100,000 gold coins in it. You can buy whatever you want. Lu Shuang was a little interested. How much is 100,000 gold coins? 1,000. 1 yuan is 100 gold coins. Lu Shuang made an okay gesture. Then I'll try my best. Once you've chosen your class, you can't change it unless you change your account. Choose carefully, Shen Yan reminded him. Ah. Then I want to try all the classes. It's boring if I only choose one. This is a social platform. You can have babies. The babies can try all the classes within level 3. When they reach level 4, they have a fixed class. Babies? Does the baby belong to the guy or the girl? Lu Shuang scratched his head. It depends on the players themselves. Some are lucky enough to have twins. Then, what if they get divorced? What should I do? If I bring a baby to level, people will find out that I'm divorced. Hee hee. Lu Shuang thought about it and found it interesting. Shen Yan was speechless. I didn't think of that. Do you have any good suggestions? Shen Yan asked. If you sell it, your game will definitely be banned. That's because it's a bad idea. If the system takes it back, it'll be awkward. It's not a good idea. Or, you can host it. When the kids grow up, they'll definitely want to be independent. You'll have to pay for hosting it. You can let the kids level up by themselves. The money can be given to their parents or they can use it to buy equipment. In the game, if the kids level up with their parents, the system will give them some gold coins based on their performance. What do you think? Lu Shuang asked. Shen Yan was happy. She pressed the back of Lu Shuang's head and kissed his forehead. They've been playing this game for a month. What you suggested is the most important bug. Really? What's the reward? Lu Shuang asked sneakily. Shen Yan smiled. What reward do you want? Lu Shuang thought about it seriously. What she wanted the most was revenge. Shen Yan had already promised to take revenge for her. If he let her go after she said she wanted revenge, he would probably be even more vigilant. Can I keep it? I'll ask you next time. I won't wait for you next time. I might not be in the mood now, Shen Yan said with certainty. He had already guessed what she was thinking. Then, next time, I want to be on top. Lu Shuang blurted out. This was a matter of dignity and sovereignty. Shen Yan smiled. Her eyes were filled with affection. Okay, if you don't need my help. Who needs your help? Lu Shuang's face turned weird as she rolled her eyes. Shen Yan was in a good mood. She made a call. After a while, Colonel Cheng came with a laptop and reminded her. Mr. President, the Prime Minister will be here in 5 minutes. Okay. Go and check if there's anything missing, Shen Yan ordered. Colonel Cheng glanced at Shen Yan. The only thing missing was the President himself. However, he did not dare to say anything else. He pushed the laptop out of the room. Shiniyan, which one is it? Lu Shuang turned on the laptop and found that there were many games in it. Well, you need to register an account first. You can use WeChat or QQ. You can also use your mobile phone. Shen Yiyan turned on the laptop for Lu Shuang. Lu Shuang went in and Shen Yiyan helped him choose a pretty girl. You have a wardrobe at home. You can buy clothes from the store. What profession do you want? Do you have any good suggestions? Lu Shuang was confused. He looked at the 20 or so professions. Shen Yiyan smiled. Beast tamer. It's a long-range hero. You can summon animals to fight for you. The animals appear for 1 minute. Their combat power is not bad, but your health is low. You need to find a hero to protect you. The cost of taming animals is not low. It's a waste of money. Shen Yiyan, I don't want to be on top anymore. Can you top up 10,000 yuan for me? Lu Shuang asked sincerely. No, you can play by yourself first. Also, you can only get married when you reach level 11. So, you have to practice slowly. Shen Yiyan stood up and looked at her watch. Time flew when he was with her. In the blink of an eye, 4 minutes had passed. Hello everyone, I am Qin Tang Tang. You can follow me on WeChat. Chapter 570. I'm going out. Okay. Lu Shuang played the game, not even looking at Shen Yiyan. He walked out of the room helplessly. She chose an animal trainer. She married her beauty with the name, Boss is below, I am above. The more she looked at the name, the cooler it got. She entered the room. There was a little tiger in the bottom right corner. She opened the wardrobe, but there was nothing inside. She went shopping first. Downstairs. The Prime Minister and his wife were already there. Shen Yiyan and Hua Zixing welcomed them. The Prime Minister entered the room and was disappointed to see that Lu Shuang wasn't there. The girl from yesterday didn't come? I arranged something else for her, Shen Yiyan said with a smile. Okay, I prepared a gift for her to thank her for saving my life, the Prime Minister said, looking at his wife. The Prime Minister's wife passed it to Hua Zixing. I hope you can give it to her. You don't have to be so polite. It's her job. Shen Yiyan didn't want to accept the Prime Minister's gift. She's your assistant, right? To be able to use one's own life to protect another's life, this kind of courage was very rare. Even a guard who had been through hundreds of battles would not have this kind of self-sacrificing courage. This gift was what she deserved. Is she free tonight? The Prime Minister asked. Unfortunately, she has other arrangements, Shen Yiyan rejected. That's a pity. The Prime Minister didn't want to force her. I made a few dishes. I don't know if they suit your tastes. If they don't, feel free to tell me so I can improve in the future. Hua Zixing passed the gift to Nangong Yu and changed the topic. It's our honor to be able to eat the President's wife's cooking. The President is such an enviable man, the Prime Minister praised. It's still a bit early for dinner. I've arranged a few programs by the lake. You can come back for dinner after watching them. Is that okay? Shen Yiyan smiled. Of course, the Prime Minister said casually. Shen Yiyan and Hua Zixing brought the Prime Minister and his wife out. Nangong Yu passed the gift to the housekeeper. He said unhappily, that woman's. Okay. The nanny took the gift carefully. Shen Yiyan brought them out mainly because Lu Shuang had not eaten yet. He was afraid that Lu Shuang would be hungry. If they ate now, it would be 2 hours later after they finished eating. Lu Shuang would not be able to bear the hunger. As soon as they left, the chef brought lunch to Lu Shuang's room. Lu Shuang heard a knock on the door and opened it slightly. When he saw that it was the chef carrying the dishes over, he immediately opened the door. Thank you, handsome. The chef blushed and respectfully bowed his head as he left. The housekeeper passed the gift bag to Lu Shuang and explained, this is a gift from that foreigner. Oh, thank you. Lu Shuang took the gift bag and opened the box. Inside was a diamond necklace. The diamond was quite big, and it should be worth a lot. She put it back in the box and threw it on the bed. She ate first. The food was pretty good today, so it didn't take long for her to finish eating. She continued playing her game. His phone beeped. She saw that it was from Shen Yan and opened it. What are you doing? Shen Yan asked. I just ate and am playing games. Lu Shuang sent a text message. His eyes were fixed on the computer again. She realized that this game was comprehensive. There were many interesting details, such as makeup, hairstyle, cooking, eating in restaurants, and so on. However, all of these cost money. There was also a dazzling array of clothes from different dynasties. Of course, there were also online battle suits. What is the gift from the Prime Minister? Shen Yan continued to ask. Lu Shuang was trying on a hairstyle, so he did not respond to the text message. Shen Yan looked at her phone and looked at it again. She was a little absent-minded. She sent another text message. I can't tell you. Lu Shuang bought a few hairstyles that he thought were good. He looked at his phone and sent a message. Necklace, diamond necklace. There are a few big ones. If you do well, I will give them to you. Seeing that she replied, Shen Yan was in a good mood. She smiled. What is considered good? You mean in bed? You think you have always been good? Lu Shuang replied with one word. Ha. Shen Yan's face darkened again. What did he mean by, ha? Was it not good? Was it disdain? Lu Shuang could really make him unhappy. He took a deep breath, adjusted his mood, and looked at the show on the lake in front of him. It seemed that he satisfied her too easily. Did she think that he was not good? He made a call. Lu Shuang was choosing clothes. It was even more difficult to choose clothes. She had to try on all the clothes that she thought were good. She saw Shen Yan's caller ID and felt a little impatient. What is it? Don't you need to accompany the Prime Minister? One moment you are texting, the next moment you are calling. Do you find it annoying? Shen Yan's voice was gloomy. I am playing a game. Lu Shuang explained. Shen Yan's mood gradually calmed down. When he was playing games when he was young, he did not like to be disturbed. He also liked games, so he invested in this type of company, and the returns were not bad. Is it fun? It's fun. Shen Yan twitched the corner of his mouth and said in a low voice, I will accompany you next time. Okay, then I am hanging up. I have to do some research. Lu Shuang said and hung up without waiting for Shen Yan to say anything. Shen Yan, he put away his phone helplessly and looked at the show on the lake. Nangong Yu kept looking at Shen Yan, and the more she looked, the more bitter she felt. Shen Yan went to M country for the first time. At that time, he was not the president yet, and she fell in love with him at first sight. She was willing to follow Hua Zixing to a country because Hua Zixing had promised her that she would let her and Shen Yan be together. She thought that since Hua Zixing could not live a married life with Shen Yan and would not have children, she was willing to be the second wife, because her identity and status were indeed not good enough. She kept waiting and waiting, and the more she stayed by Shen Yan's side, the more attracted she was to him. She liked his face, his figure, and his erratic personality. When he was serious, he was better looking than all the men in the world, and when he was evil, he could disturb people's minds. She really could not accept that the love that belonged to her had been snatched away by someone who came out of nowhere and was nothing. Nangong Yu looked at Hua Zixing. Hua Zixing looked at the lake in the distance calmly, the corners of her lips curling up as usual, as if she did not care about Lu Shuang at all. Nangong Yu also felt hatred for Hua Zixing. Of course, Hua Zixing did not care. She was a useless person anyway, and only cared about power. She did not care which woman Shen Yan had sex with, because she could not enjoy it in the first place. She had to think of a way to chase Lu Shuang away. Hello everyone, I am Chin Tang Tang, you can follow me on WeChat. Chapter 571. A malicious look flashed across her eyes. She took out her cell phone and sent a message to Lu Shuang. The president has fallen into the lake. Come here quickly. Lu Shuang had just bought a few sets of clothes when she realized that she had almost used up all her money. Alas, all the beautiful clothes were so expensive. She had spent 30,000 yuan on a shawl dress, which was equivalent to 300 yuan in a country's currency. She used the rest of the money to buy some chicken for her little tiger. She heard the message ring and glanced at the screen. It was a stranger's caller ID. Only a few people knew her cell phone number. Judging from the tone, it should be someone from the president's mansion. Otherwise, how could he know that Shaniyan had fallen into the lake? However, there were so many guards around Shaniyan. It was not her turn to save her. If she went there, Shaniyan would have been saved long ago. She was not happy to show up. If she was seen by the Prime Minister, she might have to accompany him again. She ignored it and walked around the restaurant. Suddenly, an idea flashed across her mind. The person who sent the message clearly knew that Shaniyan had so many guards around her. Even if she fell into the lake, it would not be her turn to save her. Why did he send the message to her? Could it be a trap? Lu Shuang's eyes were cunning. He sent the message. Okay, I'll be there soon. After sending the message, she continued to play her game. When Nan Gongyu saw Lu Shuang's message, a smile appeared on her face. Shaniyan said that Lu Shuang was not here because of a mission. If Lu Shuang came at this time, it would be a slap to Shaniyan's face. Shaniyan would be humiliated and would definitely hate Lu Shuang. She waited and waited. After waiting for 10 minutes, Lu Shuang still did not appear. They were almost finished. She frowned and sent a message. Why are you not here yet? Lu Shuang looked at the stranger's message and replied. I'm here. Where are you? Why can't I see anyone? Has Shaniyan been rescued? Nan Gongyu looked around to make sure that Lu Shuang was not in sight. We are by the lake about 200 meters in front of the villa. Where are you? Lu Shuang sneaked out and looked out of the window. The performance was still going on, and Shaniyan was also standing by the lake. Damn, someone really wanted to frame her. She sneaked back to her room and sent a message, I saw you guys. Isn't Shaniyan standing there? I didn't fall into the water. Nan Gongyu looked around again. There was still no sign of Lu Shuang. She looked at the villa and realized that Lu Shuang was looking through the window. Wasn't this woman too stupid? The president asked me to tell you this. She sent it to Lu Shuang. Lu Shuang looked at the message on his phone and called Shaniyan. Shaniyan saw that it was her caller ID. She walked to the side and answered. What's wrong? Someone sent me a message saying that you jumped into the lake and asked me to go. I didn't go. I just looked out of the window and realized that you didn't fall into the water. She said that you asked her to say that. Did you say that? Lu Shuang asked. Shaniyan frowned. No, call her now. Oh, then I'll hang up. Lu Shuang called the stranger. Nan Gongyu heard her phone vibrating. She took it out and saw that it was Lu Shuang calling her. She immediately hung up. She had a bad feeling and switched off her phone. Shaniyan scanned the crowd and her eyes stopped on Nan Gongyu's face. Her eyes were sharp. The phone rang. It was Lu Shuang's call and he answered. She didn't answer. When I called again, her phone was switched off. Lu Shuang said. I already know who it is. I'll teach her a lesson later. You did well to call me instead of being tricked, Shaniyan praised him. Being praised by him, Lu Shuang had a strange feeling in her heart. She felt guilty. She was just lazy and didn't want to go out. Hee. Shaniyan hung up and whispered something to Colonel Cheng. Colonel Cheng nodded. He understood. He walked to the stage and said a few words to the MC. Next is the last performance. We need the 2 female leads to cooperate with us, the MC said. There was silence below the stage. One of the actors invited the Prime Minister's wife while the other invited Nan Gongyu. Nan Gongyu was stunned. She thought that this was a good opportunity to show off. She was going to perform with the Prime Minister's wife. Did that mean that her status was the same as the Prime Minister's wife? Anyway, it was a performance for foreign VIPs. There wouldn't be any danger. She walked to the stage. The actor led her to the wooden plank in the middle of the lake and held her hand. The plank gradually rose. She was scared and hugged the actor's body tightly. The actor picked her up and spun her. She tiptoed and the actor stopped. She realized that she didn't fall, which was a little embarrassing. The Prime Minister's wife had already stepped on the plank and started to dance with the actor. She was graceful and elegant like a fairy. She relaxed and danced with the actor. Her dance was very sexy and her eyes were locked on Shen Ian. She saw Shen Ian looking at her too. Her heart was beating fast. That man was so handsome that it took one's breath away. He was like a work of art loved by God. The music reached the middle part. The actor sent the Prime Minister's wife to the Prime Minister through the water column and continued to dance on the high ground. That's great. That's great. The Prime Minister's wife covered her chest and said excitedly. She smiled and looked at Nan Gongyu, who was still performing. I'm honored that you like it. I think I'll have a good appetite if I eat now. I hope you'll like the food cooked by my wife. This way, please, Shen Ian said. She made a gesture and led the others away. Nan Gongyu saw that they had all left and was a little anxious. She asked the actor behind her, "When are we finishing? I have to take care of the president's wife." After they enter the villa, the actor said. Okay. As soon as Nan Gongyu finished speaking, she was pushed by the actor behind her. She fell from the high water column and fell into the lake. Because she wasn't prepared, she choked a few mouthfuls of water and swam to the edge of the lake. She was so cold that she was shivering. She glared at the actor on the stage. The actor on the stage was already packing up. She was furious. She climbed up and rushed to the actor. She said angrily, "What are you doing?" "I'm sorry. We're just following orders," the actor said carefully. He didn't want to offend Nan Gongyu. Whose orders? Nan Gongyu was furious. My orders, Colonel Cheng said calmly. Nan Gongyu glared at Colonel Cheng. Why did you do that? How did I offend you? I heard that you grew up by the sea and are good at swimming. This is an Easter egg of the show to show our respect for the Prime Minister and his wife. Next, we have an important task for you, Colonel Cheng said seriously. It was as if what he had just done wasn't a prank. Chapter 572. The President and the Prime Minister have already gone to dinner. We still need a mermaid to perform, Colonel Cheng said. What mermaid? Didn't you find an actress in advance? Why me? Nan Gongyu refused anxiously. Not everyone can enter the President Palace. Not everyone is qualified to perform during dinner. If you don't want to, then forget it. I'll report to the President. Colonel Cheng was a little impatient. Did the President ask you to call me? Nan Gongyu was suspicious. To be sure, the President asked you to do it. He said that you are good-looking and have a good figure. It won't be disgusting if you perform during dinner. After all, you're already familiar with each other. If you don't want to, then forget it. After all, the President said that he would respect your wishes. If you don't want to, then forget it, Colonel Cheng said and turned around. Since it's a task, then I'll accept it. Is the dress nice? Nan Gongyu asked worriedly. It's a performance for the Prime Minister. What do you think? Colonel Cheng said. Okay. Nan Gongyu agreed. But we need to rehearse first. Come with me. Colonel Ching walked in front of her. Nan Gongyu followed him. The wind blew and she felt colder. The coldness almost penetrated her bones. She thought for a moment and threw her phone into the lake when there was no one around. Plop. Colonel Cheng looked at her. She pretended to be innocent and asked, "What's wrong?" "Nothing." Colonel Cheng took her to the storeroom. "Why did you bring me here?" Nan Gongyu's voice was hoarse. Colonel Cheng pointed at the soldiers. Nan Gongyu saw the soldiers move a wardrobe and a pool of 1 meter by 2 meters. "The pool is so small?" Nan Gongyu frowned. "How big do you want the pool in the living room?" Colonel Cheng asked. "Then how can I swim in it?" Nan Gongyu was dissatisfied. "If you can't do it, then forget it. I'll report to the president and see if we should cancel this program or find someone else to do it," Colonel Cheng said reluctantly. If she couldn't do this well, Shen Yan would definitely look down on her. "I see. What's the temperature of the water?" "You can set it to 28 degrees. "I understand." Nan Gongyu took off her outer clothes and entered the water. She held her breath and swam for a while. The pool was too small for her to stretch. She looked at Colonel Cheng. Colonel Cheng left the room, leaving her alone in the grocery room. She poked her head out of the water. Her lips were purple from the cold. She climbed out of the pool and picked up the clothes on the ground. She decided to go back and change her clothes. She was afraid that Shen Yan would see her in such a sorry state. If she didn't go now, she would freeze to death. She wanted to ask someone to send her some clothes, but when she fell into the water, other than the hidden phone that couldn't be used, her own phone couldn't be used either. He could only open the door. There was no one around the storeroom either. A gust of wind blew over, making it even colder. If this went on, she was worried that she would freeze to death. She should go back and get some clothes first. She walked to the villa and deliberately chose the back door. Before she entered, she saw Colonel Cheng coming out from the back door. Colonel Cheng was holding a gift bag in his hand. "I saw that your clothes were wet, so I brought you some clothes and the costumes for the performance." "They are all in the bag," Colonel Cheng said. "Thank you. I'll go to training after I change my clothes. I'm freezing to death." Nan Gongyu directly opened the back door and went in. Shen Yan looked at the back door out of the corner of his eye and curled up the corner of his mouth. He remembered that he had said before that if Nan Gongyu continued to provoke Lu Shuang, he would definitely make her cry. She was really tired of living. "The dishes are really good. Many of them are my and my wife's favorites. Thank you for your hospitality." The Prime Minister communicated with Shen Yan in the language of F. "It's our pleasure to have friends from afar. You will go back tomorrow morning, right? In the afternoon, I will show you one of the quintessence of a country," Shen Yan said with a smile. "My wife likes to listen to the kunku opera of your country. She said that there is a special feeling in her heart. I accompanied her to listen to it a few times, and it is really good." "Yes, there are several kinds of operas arranged in the afternoon, and they are all quite unique," Shen Yan said elegantly. He thought of Lu Shuang's complaining face. If he asked her to accompany him, he would probably yawn again. Sigh, what should he do with her when she married him in the future? In the afternoon, Lu Shuang was thirsty. She guessed that Shen Yan and the others had already gone out, so she swaggered out. When she walked up the stairs, she saw a beautiful girl and a strange woman in her 40s standing in the living room. She immediately squatted down. Who were these two people? She had never seen them before. They didn't seem to be the nanny of the family. She squatted down, sneaked downstairs, and ran into the kitchen. She took a bowl of water and drank it. Then she asked one of the chefs, "Outside, there are two women. Who are they?" "Oh, one is Madame's younger sister, and the other is Madame's younger sister's attendant. They just came when the president and Madame went out," the chef explained. Lu Shuang nodded. So, it was Hua Zixing's younger sister. In that case, she had better sneak upstairs to avoid any awkwardness. She took a bowl of water and sneaked upstairs, as though she was not discovered. She hurried into her room, closed the door, and continued playing her game. Time ticked by, and the sky gradually darkened. She switched on the lights and had some fun. She played more than 20 matches, and won more than 10 of them. Gloriously, she leveled up to level 3. She finished the water again. She took the bowl and opened the door secretly. When she saw Shaniyan coming in, she smiled in surprise. "You're back. That's great." He did not ignore the joy in her eyes, and his mood improved as well. "I'm coming over to change and check on you." "Don't change first. I'm thirsty. Help me, moi." She stuffed the bowl into Shaniyan's hands and closed the door. Shaniyan, he could only head down and place the bowl in the kitchen before instructing the butler, "Bring a water dispenser to my room and prepare 2 new cups. Keep them warm." "Yes." The butler got to work after receiving the order. Shaniyan returned to his room, quickly changed his clothes, and entered Lu Shuang's room from his room. She moved the study table to the side of the bed and sat cross-legged on it, playing happily. She did not even realize that he had come in. He did not call out to her, but stood beside her and watched her play. She hid in the bushes and let the tiger out to roam around. "Boss, are you referring to me?" Shaniyan asked, his gaze ambiguous. His sudden voice had Lu Shuang jumping in fright. He patted his chest and rolled his eyes at Shaniyan. Chapter 573. Why didn't you tell me you were coming in? Are you the boss? You are the president. She emphasized the words, the president. Then who is the boss in your name? Are you referring to the boss behind this company? Shen Ian asked. A name is a name. It doesn't mean anything. Then change it to, the boss is above and you are below, Shen Ian ordered. That's not cool at all, okay? Lu Shuang refused and looked at the computer screen. Damn, my tiger time is up and I haven't done anything yet. It's all your fault. You're so annoying. Shen Ian was speechless. Other people wanted him to be annoying, but she was the only one who would say that he was annoying. The water dispenser is in my room. If you want to drink, go get it yourself. I'll send 2 cups to you later. You can choose one first. Also, I'll ask someone to send 2 gaming chairs for you to play games tomorrow. It's not good for your neck. Shen Ian reminded him. Oh. Lu Shuang gave a perfunctory reply and didn't even look at her. Shen Ian was jealous. She stood there and didn't leave. If she knew this would happen, she wouldn't have let her play this game and ignored him. Lu Shuang summoned the little tiger to patrol again. She saw 2 people walking over and immediately sent a private message to one of her friends. Little Bai, hurry and teleport to me. I saw 2 enemies. Bai, are you hiding? Lu Shuang, of course. Bai, I'm coming. Lu Shuang put on his earphones and pressed the button. He said to the Special Forces soldier, did you call Lao Si over? Bai, Lao Si is fighting the boss. He'll be here in 1 minute. What's the situation? Lu Shuang, one is a model, and the other is a police officer. One is level 5, and the other is level 9. Bai, you are awesome. We might not be able to defeat them. You are only level 3. Lu Shuang asked, aren't you level 10? My little tiger will fight first. It has thick skin, so it should be able to hold on for a while. I can still heal my tiger. You go in stealth mode and kill the model. Then, we'll run. When OL4 arrives, we'll kill the level 9 police officer. That's right. Yes. Bai said, their team is also very strong. If I'm charmed by the model, I'll pause for 3 seconds. The policeman will shoot me once and handcuff me. The model's long legs will be kicked by me and the policeman will intimidate me. The model will try to seduce me again and the policeman will shoot me again. I'm done for. Lu Shuang said, that's why you have to kill the model in 1 second. No matter if the model dies or not, you have to be invisible. If I were invisible, you'd be dead. Lu Shuang said, I'll run. Hurry up. If they find us, we'll really be dead. Bai replied, got it. Your little tiger can go first. Lu Shuang fed the little tiger food. The little tiger quickly rushed to the model and gave him a slap. The model used charm on the little tiger. The policeman shot the little tiger, and the little tiger's health dropped by half. Lu Shuang immediately told the little tiger to run away to avoid being handcuffed by the police. However, the model's charm stopped for 3 seconds. The little tiger only managed to lift one leg before it was handcuffed. It couldn't even run away. After being intimidated by the police, the little tiger lost another quarter of its health. When the model was about to give the little tiger legs, Bai appeared in time and killed the model in 1 shot. The model's health dropped by half, and Bai immediately went invisible. When the police's attention was attracted by Bai, Lu Shuang immediately told the little tiger to run away and replenish its health. The model used charm and the little tiger ran very slowly. The police and the model surrounded the little tiger again. The model gave the little tiger another kick, and the little tiger's health was almost gone. Fortunately, all 3 of their skills had been used. Lu Shuang ran out from the bushes and attacked the model. She used her roaring skill. Because the level was not high, the model only lost a little health. She then used her whip skill on the model. After using the skill, she quickly ran away. The police's shooting function was activated, and they aimed at Lu Shuang. Lu Shuang's health was low, and he would definitely be killed in 1 shot. Hide behind the rock, Shen Yiyan reminded. Lu Shuang then noticed that Shen Yiyan was still there. She thought that he had gone out, so she quickly hid behind the rock. Replenish your health, Shen Yiyan reminded her. Lu Shuang quickly replenished her health. Shen Yiyan frowned. Where's your equipment? We gave you so much money, but what did you buy? At that critical moment, Lu Shuang ignored Shen Yiyan, and the police were running towards her. Run, he can use deterrence to reduce your health by half, and your partner won't be able to save you, Shen Yiyan said. Lu Shuang thought about it, and she ran away. Luckily, because the police were chasing her, she bought time for her little tiger, and the model was killed by Little White. The little tiger's time was up, and it disappeared automatically. If the little tiger was dead, it would cost a lot of money to revive her. The police followed her closely, and they were ready to avenge their partner. Little White used Gale's steps to catch up, but unfortunately, OL4 was teleported to him, and he had to pause for 5 seconds. Lu Shuang thought that she was dead meat. Squat down, Shen Yiyan said. Lu Shuang immediately waited, only to hear a bang in her ear. She had dodged the fatal attack from the police. Run, and go behind your partner. One of your partners is a magician, and he can create an environment that lasts for 5 seconds. You can find a place to hide, Shen Yiyan said. Okay. Lu Shuang did as he was told, and went behind his partner. The police also found out that the 3 of them were together, and they knew that they would be courting death if they went over, so they ran away. Lu Shuang let out a sigh of relief, and he pressed Control OL4, you almost killed me. OL4 said, forgive me. I came here after killing a boss. I'll give you some mana and health potions later. Shen Yiyan's face darkened when she saw that Lu Shuang was still ignoring her after winning a game. She glanced at the time on her watch, and it was time to go downstairs. What did you buy with your money? Where's your equipment? Lu Shuang glanced at Shen Yiyan. I bought some powerful equipment. Really? If I didn't warn you, you would have been dead. I played more than 20 games today, and I've won more than 10. It's very powerful, Lu Shuang bragged. Really? Shen Yiyan didn't believe him at all. Other than him, there were a few other people in their company who played well, but they only won about 20 out of 40 games. How could she be that good? He clicked on her record, and it was true that she had won 12 out of 24 games. What kind of top-tier equipment did you buy? Shen Yiyan was surprised. Was there a bug in the game? I'll tell you after this game. Lu Shuang was proud of himself, and his eyes curved like a thief. But he liked her slyness. Suddenly, he pressed the back of her neck, and his lips covered hers. Colonel Cheng turned around and walked in front. Nan Gongyu followed behind him and got into his car. There was a traffic jam on the road. Nan Gongyu looked out of the window anxiously. Why aren't we there yet? You should ask someone to clear the road first. Colonel Cheng's phone rang. He picked it up. Mr. President, there's a traffic jam on the road. I don't know when you'll be here. I'll try my best. Got it. Okay, sorry. Nan Gongyu saw Colonel Cheng hang up and asked, what's wrong? What did the president say? He asked us to hurry up. The meal is about to start. It's not appropriate for you to go in now, Colonel Cheng said in a deep voice. Then hurry up. I don't know when I'll be here. You should have asked me to go out earlier. It's all your fault, Nan Gongyu complained. She felt wronged. She had practiced for the whole afternoon. Colonel Cheng made a call. Director Wang, please clear the road. I'm in a hurry. It's between Bo Ai Road and Jasmine Road, and between Jasmine Road and Tian'an Road. What? It'll take half an hour to get here? No need. I'll be here in half an hour. Nan Gongyu stomped her feet anxiously and hit Colonel Cheng's chair. Colonel Cheng looked at Nan Gongyu through the rearview mirror. So, if you offended someone, don't offend the president. The president's ability to play with people was unparalleled. He shuddered and suddenly felt a little admiration for Lu Shuang. It seemed that only Lu Shuang could make the president suffer. When Nan Gongyu arrived at the restaurant, it was already 45 minutes later. She changed her clothes and hurriedly went into the water. She pushed the sink into the private room. Hua Zixing was surprised to see Nan Gongyu in the pool. Oh my God. The Prime Minister's wife was surprised. She covered her mouth. Isn't that the president's wife's assistant? Hua Zixing smiled and said gently, you are the most distinguished guests of our country. We wanted to show our friendship and sincerity. Very good. We felt it. It's really good, the Prime Minister's wife said to Hua Zixing. Shen Yiyan raised her glass. I hope you had a good time today. Yes, very good. My only regret is that I didn't get to see Miss Lu, the Prime Minister said as he clinked glasses with Shen Yiyan. By the way, does Miss Lu have a boyfriend? We know a nice guy. Maybe we can introduce them to each other. The Prime Minister's wife suggested marriage. They could immediately tell what it was. Hua Zixing smiled and said, she has a boyfriend who grew up with her. They're getting married soon. Oh, that's a pity, the Prime Minister's wife said sadly. I wonder who he is. My sister doesn't have a boyfriend either. Maybe we can introduce them to each other, Hua Zixing said. He's Mai's younger brother. He's 28 this year. He's used to fooling around and needs a wife to take care of him. My sister's age is quite suitable for him. I'll be 26 in 2 years, Hua Zixing said enthusiastically. The Prime Minister's position in F country was not much lower than the President's. He was also a strong contender for the next president. This relationship could lead to a marriage. How old is Miss Lu? Mai asked meaningfully. She should be 30 after Chinese New Year, Hua Zixing said with a smile. We want to find an older girl. We can't take care of someone too young. Because of me, I think older girls are more attractive. They'll be more practical for my brother. The Prime Minister's words were tactfully rejecting Hua Zixing's idea of a marriage. Chapter 575. You like kunku opera, right? I have a surprise for you. Shen Ian changed the topic and clapped her hands. Music started playing on the stage and a kunku opera actor appeared. Nan Gongyu was in the pool. She couldn't come out and she couldn't complain. It was very awkward. Most importantly, Shen Ian had been eating for 3 hours and her whole body was numb from the cold. When Shen Ian went to the washroom, Hua Zixing followed. Ian, did Xiao Yu do something wrong? Shen Ian smiled. She probably hid some things from you. For example, when we were watching the show by the lake, she told Lu Shuang that I fell into the lake and lied to Lu Shuang to come out. If Lu Shuang came out, what do you think the Prime Minister and his wife would think of us? All our efforts would have been in vain. What? That's impossible. How could she do that? Hua Zixing was shocked. This is just a small punishment. If there's a next time and she can't stay by my side, you should know how to deal with it. Shen Ian reminded her. Are you sure she did it? Hua Zixing still couldn't believe it. She had already warned Nan Gongyu. I'm sure. I saw it with my own eyes. All right, I'll arrange for someone to send her away. Shen Ian didn't want to waste her time on an insignificant person. She came out and gave some instructions to Colonel Cheng before returning to her seat. Colonel Cheng asked someone to carry Nan Gongyu down. Nan Gongyu was so cold that she almost fainted. She kept shivering as she came out of the changing room. Colonel Cheng handed the gift bag to Nan Gongyu. This is a gift from the president. Thank you for your hard work tonight. He said that you don't need to take care of him anymore. Go back and rest early. Okay. Nan Gongyu opened the gift bag and there was a crystal swan inside. This was the first time she had received a gift from Shen Ian. Her heart was filled with sweetness. No matter how hard it was worth it. It was already 11 o'clock when Shen Ian returned to the President Palace. He went straight to his room. No, to be exact, he went straight to Lu Shuang's room. She was still playing games. The windows were open and it was very cold. She wrapped herself in a down jacket and tied her hair into a messy braid. Shen Ian was speechless. Why did he fall in love with such a slovenly, careless, and sloppy woman? Why did you leave the window open? You might as well freeze to death, Shen Ian said helplessly and closed the window. *T, I was wondering why it was so cold. Turns out I forgot to close the window. Lu Shuang glanced at the window and returned his gaze to the computer. You're still playing? It's very late now. Shen Ian frowned. Soon. I've finished the last round. I'm almost at level 6 now. Awesome, right? Lu Shuang boasted. Shen Ian nodded her head. She was indeed awesome. She had reached level 6 in just over 10 hours. Her speed was very fast. What bug did you find? Not yet, Lu Shuang said lazily. Shen Ian untied her tie and threw it on the chair. She unbuttoned the top 3 buttons of her shirt and regained her sly aura. She sat beside Lu Shuang and looked at the screen. She had teamed up with another 2 level 10 people. One of them was a level 10 police officer. He looked very familiar. Is this the police officer who almost killed you? Lu Shuang smiled. There are no eternal friends or enemies in this world. It wasn't easy for me to dress up as that model. All right. Shen Ian's face darkened. Her other teammate was also a level 10 Special Forces soldier. He roughly knew why she could win so many rounds. You've been playing individual matches all this while? Shen Ian asked. Yeah. Let me tell you, there will only be 3 people left in each individual match. I just need to team up with someone strong. Basically, my chances of winning are higher, Lu Shuang explained. Shen Ian sneered. So it's this bug. Lu Shuang had a bad feeling. He looked at Shen Ian and made a call. It's me. It's about the new game. When the individual matches are randomly selected, the level difference between the players can't be more than 2 levels. Otherwise, it's unfair to the low-level players. Yes, it's best if the players are of the same level, Shen Yiyan ordered. Lu Shuang ignored Shen Yiyan and continued playing his game. Also, what is the ultimate equipment you mentioned? Shen Yiyan asked Lu Shuang. Lu Shuang ignored him and didn't say a word. He killed the little monster to vent his anger. The more he thought about it, the angrier he got. Even if he knew, he wouldn't tell him anything. Shen Yiyan looked at Lu Shuang coldly. Do you think I won't ban your account? Lu Shuang was angry. He pushed the mouse away. I don't want to play anymore. You ban it. It's boring. She fell on the bed with her back facing Shen Yiyan. She covered her head with the blanket and said in a muffled voice, I'll start playing other people's games tomorrow. At least, I won't be banned. Shen Yiyan looked at her helplessly and pulled the blanket up. She only pulled it a little bit before she pulled it back. He frowned. It's not that I don't want you to play. You should at least tell me. Tell you so that you can cancel it? Lu Shuang felt that it was unfair. If you tell me, I'll get someone to top up $1,000 for you tomorrow. You can do it. There's no place to top up even if you have the money. Shen Yiyan compromised. Lu Shuang popped his head out. I want $2,000. I'll use up the $1,000 in a while. Fine, $2,000. Shen Yiyan was helpless. Lu Shuang smiled and kicked the blanket away. Deal. She moved her butt to the computer and showed her equipment to Shen Yiyan. Shen Yiyan glanced at it. There was nothing special. He had seen it before. Could it be that there was a bug when she put it together? Let me tell you. My ultimate equipment is these beautiful clothes and hairstyles. When I dress up nicely, people won't want to kill me. I can easily form a team with powerful people. It doesn't matter if I'm not powerful, as long as my teammates are powerful, Lu Shuang explained. Shen Yiyan, he frowned. She was flirting when he was serving them. He was reminded of her dark past. She confessed to him and other men at the same time. When she grew up, she became even worse, seducing men to confess to her every few days. In those 3 years, he didn't know how many peach blossoms he had killed. Train with me in the future. Don't worry, I'm the best player here, Shen Yiyan said coldly. What level are you? Lu Shuang asked. I think I'm level 68. Why? Take your time. I'm only 2 levels away from you. I haven't reached level 6 yet. Lu Shuang rolled his eyes and continued playing. I can ask them to give me a level 8 account. Where's the fun? The fun is gone. This game is mainly for the fun of leveling up. Lu Shuang slowly focused on the computer. Chapter 576. Shen Yiyan, what are you doing? I'm still playing. There are only 10 people left. It's a crucial moment, Lu Shuang complained and pushed her. I'll help you. Go take a shower, Shen Yiyan said in a commanding tone. I don't want to. I'll do it myself. Then I'll go take a shower. You can take a shower after I'm done, Shen Yiyan said meaningfully. Go take a shower. She only wanted him to leave her alone. Shen Yiyan got up from the bed and went to the washroom. Lu Shuang hurried to play the game. Shen Yiyan took a shower and dried her hair. When she came out, Lu Shuang was still playing. It's your turn. Wait. There are only 6 people left. Our opponents are also in a team of 3. They are stronger than us. We can't beat them. If we lose, all my time will be wasted. Lu Shuang was anxious. Go take a shower. I'll help you win. Shen Yiyan sat down beside him. Lu Shuang knew that Shen Yiyan was more skilled than him, so he immediately let her win. Shen Ian skillfully operated the game. She used her skills, moved, hid, and summoned. Lu Shuang didn't go to take a shower. He sat beside her and stared at the computer. "Let's retreat first," Shen Ian said to her companions. She dodged and ran to the shop. He saw that Lu Shuang had 15,300 yuan. He bought a one-time Thunderbolt Strike, 2 health potions and 1 mana potion. Damn. That Thunderbolt Strike costs 5,000 yuan. It's not worth it. I only get 1,000 yuan for 1 win. This is the biggest bug in the game, okay? Lu Shuang complained. Otherwise, how can this game make money? Some people don't care about money. They only care about winning, Shen Ian explained. Killing intent flashed in her eyes. She looked quite handsome when she was cold. Lu Shuang twitched the corner of his mouth. She was talking about him. "You have to compensate me for this 5,000 yuan. I worked hard to earn it," Lu Shuang muttered. "Got it." After Shen Ian recovered, he sent a message to his companions, "Get ready. I bought a Thunderbolt Strike, which can reduce the opponent's learning points by 1,000. Let's change the opponent's special forces first. His stealth and Thunderbolt Strike are impossible to defend against. He's so handsome. He must be rich," Lu Shuang's companion said. Shen Ian ignored them. Anyway, they wouldn't be able to hang out with Lu Shuang from tomorrow on. Lu Shuang watched as he annihilated the opponent's special forces. "Wow wow wow, I leveled up. I'm level 6 now. Wahahaha, wahahaha." Lu Shuang shouted happily. After Shen Ian defeated the enemy's SWAT soldier, Lu Shuang's hero became the target of public criticism. Everyone was targeting him. His hero's HP was low, so he quickly typed, "Comrades, cover me. I'm counting on you guys." He ran quickly. His teammates stopped the other two. He kept running and released the little tiger. The little tiger turned around to help. "My hero is a little weak. He has too little HP." Lu Shuang felt that she was going to win, so he relaxed. Shen Ian controlled the little tiger. She looked at the computer. "You can take a shower now." "Okay." Lu Shuang replied. But he didn't leave. His eyes were fixed on the computer. Shen Ian turned around and looked at her. She raised her voice and said, "Shower." "Got it." Lu Shuang took his clothes and went to the washroom. He came out within 15 minutes. His hair was washed but he didn't dry it. Shen Ian looked at him and frowned. "Why don't you dry your hair? You'll have headaches when you get old." "I can dry it myself," Lu Shuang said nonchalantly. He sat in front of the computer. "Turn off the computer." Shen Ian ignored him. She got off the bed and took the hairdryer from the washroom. She plugged it in and saw that Lu Shuang had turned on the computer. She said unhappily, "You're not going to sleep? What time is it? You have to adjust the rules of the game. If you don't play now, you won't be able to meet such a good teammate tomorrow," Lu Shuang said seriously. Shen Ian snatched the mouse from her hand and turned off the computer. Lu Shuang glared at Shen Ian and turned on the computer again. He said helplessly, "It's very late. I'll tell them that they won't adjust the rules of the game tomorrow. You can be late for one more day. Is that okay?" Lu Shuang smiled. "Then you have to promise me that you won't ban me forever." "No, I won't ban you forever," he promised and blew her hair. Lu Shuang grinned. That would be the best. She was a little tired from playing today. She lay on Shen Ian's lap and let him blow her hair. Her pajamas assaulted her. Shen Ian blew her hair so comfortably that she wanted to sleep. She closed her eyes and really fell asleep after a while. He looked at her sleeping helplessly. He carried her to the bed and covered her with the blanket. He did not leave her room and propped his head up to look at her. She did not sleep well. She turned over and pressed the side of her face against the pillow, squeezing out the flesh. Her legs came out from under the blanket and clamped the blanket. Shen Ian smiled dotingly and was ready to sleep. She lifted the blanket and saw the gift bag from the Prime Minister. She was really a casual person. She took the gift out and saw that it was indeed a blue fairy. Mai had bought it at an auction in Denmark a long time ago. Such an expensive necklace was actually on her. She did not give it to Hua Zixing, but gave it to Lu Shuang. He thought about how Mai wanted her to marry his brother and felt a little annoyed. He threw the gift box on the table. She was attracting bees and butterflies all day long. He should make her fattened up so that no one else would covet her except him. He hugged her in his arms and went to sleep. Lu Shuang woke up especially early that day. Thinking that he only had one day to train properly, he did not even want to sleep. He got out of bed and went to the bathroom to brush his teeth. Shen Ian also opened his eyes. He had to send the Prime Minister and his wife off in the morning and could not sleep too much. He got out of bed and went to the bathroom. Lu Shuang was already coming out. He hugged her waist and kissed her on the forehead. I have to send the Prime Minister and his wife off in the morning. Come with me. Ah. No way. I woke up so early to play games, not to accompany you to send the Prime Minister off. All the cells in Lu Shuang's body were saying no. Shen Ian saw that her eyebrows were knitted together and was in a good mood. You don't want to go? Then what do you mean? Lu Shuang tiptoed and kissed him on the cheek. That's it. Shen Ian was obviously not satisfied. You haven't brushed your teeth. Lu Shuang said with disdain. Got it. Shen Ian said and let go of Lu Shuang. Lu Shuang hurried out and turned on the computer. He logged into the game page and went to pick out clothes, put on makeup, ate breakfast, and went shopping. When Shen Ian came out, she was shopping. He had no choice but to hug her shoulders and kiss her lips. The sweet smell of toothpaste rushed into her nose. She didn't forget what Shen Ian wanted. She didn't want to be restrained and send him off. She responded to him, and her red tongue entered his mouth, stirring his breath. He went deeper, and his hand reached under her loose clothes. My subordinates reported that he is unfathomable and very decisive. I have a feeling that he will become my number one enemy. I have to be careful, Shen Ian said solemnly. I'll send a few people from Phantom out to see his reaction. Hua Zixing asked. Give it a try. Don't show any flaws, Shen Ian reminded. I know. Also, don't tell anyone about my relationship with Lu Shuang. Ian, Hua Zixing paused. Although the Nangong family is not as powerful as the Hua family in Country M, they are still a respectable family in Country M. In some ways, the Hua family needs their support. Everyone's interests were tied together. This time, it was her fault. But she got what she deserved. Now she has a fever and is lying in bed in a daze. I don't want it to happen again. If you want to prevent it from happening again, I'll arrange a blind date when she recovers and betroth her to a good man, Shen Ian said solemnly. Hua Zixing wanted to say something but stopped. She couldn't possibly say that the agreement between her and Nangong Yu was for her to become his concubine. There's no rush. We'll talk about it after she recovers. I'll ask for her opinion and let you know when the time comes. Shen Ian went to the kitchen and asked someone to send breakfast to his room. He went upstairs to check on Lu Shuang. She was already sitting in front of the computer playing games. Shen Ian frowned. How old are you? Why are you still like a girl addicted to the internet? I'll play today if I have time. Aren't you going to have a military parade tomorrow? I won't be free anyway, Lu Shuang said as she stared at the computer. Shen Ian sat next to her and looked at her deeply. Shuang, have you ever thought about marrying me? Lu Shuang felt that the topic was a little heavy. She had never thought about marrying him. Even during those 2 years, she knew very well that it was impossible for them to be together. I've dreamt about it, Lu Shuang said. She had really dreamt about marrying him and had woken up in shock. The corner of Shen Yiyan's mouth twitched. He was satisfied with this answer. He rubbed Lu Shuang's head and said meaningfully, "All right, go ahead and play. Make the most of your time." Lu Shuang didn't like it when he rubbed her head. She felt that he was like an elder. She was older than him. Well, she was just a few months older than him. She turned around and rubbed Shen Yiyan's head. After messing up his hair, she smiled in satisfaction. Shen Yiyan looked at the smile on her face. In the past, he hated it when people messed up his hair. Other than the hairdresser, no one else was allowed to touch it. However, even if she messed up his hair, he didn't care at all. His heart was filled with ripples. He lowered his head and covered her lips with his. Lu Shuang protested. This guy was doing it again. He was so annoying. What she didn't know was that the more she protested, the more he wanted it. He kissed her deeper and deeper. His hands went under her clothes, lifted her clothes, and moved his kiss downwards. Lu Shuang could speak now. She resisted and said, "I'm playing games. I'll die soon if you do this." He kissed her lips again deeply and said, "Do you want me to change the adjustment time to Tuesday?" "Yes." Lu Shuang immediately became soft. She wrapped her legs around his strong waist and said, "Give me another 300,000 yuan. Money can't last long. It'll be gone after buying a few things." "Got it," he said dotingly and lowered his head to kiss her. The door was pushed open. Nan Gongyu was standing at the door with a plate in her hand. Lu Shuang was shocked. When he realized that someone had come in, he immediately let go of Shen Yiyan and crawled into the quilt. Chapter 578. Nan Gongyu looked at Shen Yiyan, feeling wronged. It was one thing to know that he was with Lu Shuang, but it was another thing to see them kissing. In her mind, Shen Yiyan was holy, noble, and pure. He would never have sex with a woman casually. He looked evil, but he was very clean. That was why he was deeply in her heart. But just now, if she hadn't come in, they might have had a fight. Whenever she thought of Shen Yiyan and Lu Shuang having sex, she would be extremely jealous. It was as if a fire was about to ignite her. She felt so uncomfortable that she was about to explode. "Didn't you order someone to send breakfast up?" Nan Gongyu said in a strange tone. Her tone was very bad. "Knock on the door. Get out. You're not the one to do this." Shen Yiyan ordered coldly. Nan Gongyu turned around. The more she thought about it, the angrier she became. She spat into every bowl and put the plates on the table. Lu Shuang popped his head out of the quilt and looked at the door suspiciously. He asked, "Does that woman like you?" "So, I can't keep her here. I'll arrange a blind date in a few days and marry her off," Shen Yiyan said in a low voice. "You're quite nice to her. She can marry whoever she likes." Lu Shuang's eyes were sparkling. "Then, if you hate me in the future, will you arrange a blind date for me too?" Shen Yiyan knocked her head hard and said through gritted teeth, "You'd better not make me hate you. If I hate you, I promise that you will never find a man again, let alone a real gun. Then you're so evil. You don't want me anymore, but you won't let me find someone else. What the hell is that? Besides, what is a real gun?" Lu Shuang was annoyed. He dragged her in front of him and tore off his pants, telling her what was real. It was already half an hour later when they finished. Lu Shuang was angry. Wasn't this guy going to see the Prime Minister couple off? He was way too patient. In the end, he made her want it, but he just wouldn't give it to her. She was furious. How could there be such a hateful person? The thought that he was disgusted with her and wanted to cut her off from other men made him even more vicious. When he was young, he would look at it. When he was old, he was right. "Did you feel good just now?" Shen Yiyan asked after she came out of the shower. Lu Shuang rolled his eyes at him. Do you think it's possible for you to say this to a person who is about to starve to death? Shen Ian, got it. I'll go get some food for you now. Shen Ian walked out and saw the tray on the table. She picked it up and sent it to the kitchen. She ordered the chef, throw this away. Also, when I ask you to deliver food in the future, remember, don't let it go through anyone, not even the madam. Understand? The chefs looked at each other and nodded respectfully. Understood. Lu Shuang ate the breakfast that the chef sent over. It was a Hong Kong breakfast with delicious steamed seafood dumplings and rice noodle rolls. It was delicious with Chinese soy milk. She continued to play the game and tried her best to level up. After 3 hours, she had reached level 8. Shen Ian was quite reliable. She received a notification from the system that the 300000 had been transferred to her account. After finishing the game, she went to the mall to buy an awesome beast tamer transformation suit. It was very expensive, costing her 120,000 gold coins. However, after wearing the suit, her beast tamer combat value increased by 100, and her HP increased by 500. She only had 500 HP before. Her MP increased by 100, and her stamina recovery speed increased by 2. She went to buy a healing ring, a pair of gale boots to increase her escape speed, and a divine shield to reduce the damage taken by 20%. However, it was also very expensive. This shield cost her 50,000 gold coins. She bought 2 invincibility, 1 heal, and 10 chicken nuggets. She only had 120 gold coins left. After buying it, she went to the toilet. When she sat down, she felt that there was something under her butt. She adjusted her position and found that there was still something. She stood up and looked at the blanket. She wondered if Shen Ian had put something there, but it didn't seem right. She had been sitting there when she was playing the game. There was nothing there. She pulled the blanket away and screamed. She instinctively took 5 or 6 steps back. 2 grayish-brown snakes were entangled together with triangular heads. Although she couldn't tell what kind of snakes they were, she had some common sense. Triangular heads meant that they were poisonous snakes. There were 2 poisonous snakes in her room. She was scared to death. Once she was bitten by this thing, she would be as good as dead. She rushed out of the room and grabbed the butler's hand. She said incoherently, "My room, there are 2 poisonous snakes in my room, on my bed. There might be more. It's so scary. How is that possible?" The butler was shocked. He called for the 2 guards and went upstairs together. Nangong Yu screamed and ran out of the room. Snakes. Snakes. There are snakes in my room. It's so scary. The butler's face darkened. He rushed to the president's room with his men. Nangong Yu's face was gloomy. She rushed to Lu Shuang. Lu Shuang looked at Nangong Yu and ran away. "There are snakes in your pocket. Don't come over." "Ah!" Nangong Yu screamed and ran to Lu Shuang. Lu Shuang ran even faster. Fortunately, she had been training her body before, and her sports fitness training had improved. Soon, Nangong Yu was far behind. A few cars drove over. The car in the middle stopped abruptly. Shen Ian got out of the car and caught up with Lu Shuang. He caught up to Lu Shuang, who was running wildly, and held her hand. He asked worriedly, "What's wrong?" "Shen Ian, there are poisonous snakes in your room. There are so many of them. They are on my bed. It's disgusting. I want to leave. I don't want to stay here," Lu Shuang said with fear. She was not afraid of anything, but she was very disgusted when she climbed on those twisting snakes. Thinking of the 2 snakes on the bed, she had goosebumps all over her body. She even sat on the snake's body. Her whole body was uncomfortable, and her whole body trembled. She found it very cold. "How is that possible? You said there are snakes in the president's room?" There are people in the president's room to deal with them. There can't be snakes. They are poisonous snakes. They have triangular heads and brown bodies. Lu Shuang shrank his neck and made a triangle above his head with his hands. Shen Yiyan gritted her teeth. Her eyes were fierce. She was covered in a cold and murderous aura. She ordered coldly, "Find out who it is. Throw them into the snake pit and let them suffer the consequences." Yes. Colonel Cheng could tell that the president was angry. He immediately got into the car and brought his men to the villa. Hua Zixing got out of the car worriedly. She had a bad feeling. She looked at Nan Gongyu in the distance. Chapter 579. He comforted Lu Shuang, but his voice was trembling and his eyes were slightly red. Lu Shuang had a strange feeling in his heart. He glanced at Shen Yiyan and met his seductive eyes. "I think I'm really lucky. I was playing games and didn't notice the snakes in the room. When I found out, the snakes had already crawled into my blanket and didn't hurt me. The person who released the snakes wanted you to die in an accident. I don't believe that so many snakes appeared in the president's office all of a sudden, and they're poisonous snakes," Shen Yiyan said with certainty. Lu Shuang was a little scared as he thought about it. She just ran out in her underwear. She didn't notice when she was running, but now that she had calmed down, she realized that it was really cold. Shen Yiyan was too worried and didn't notice that she was wearing very little. After calming down, he realized it too. He took off his coat and wrapped it around her. "Get in the car first. It's warm in the car, don't catch a cold." Lu Shuang tugged at his sleeve. "I don't want to go back, there are snakes. Let's stay in the car first." Shen Yiyan opened the car door and Lu Shuang got into the front passenger seat. As the driver, Colonel Cheng had gone to the villa first. Shen Yiyan sat in the driver's seat and turned on the heater, facing Lu Shuang. Hua Zixing got in the car with a heavy heart and sat in the back. Shen Yiyan looked ahead coldly and asked, "Zixing, if someone tried to murder you, what do you think they should do?" Hua Zixing's heart skipped a beat. "I think the person who released the snakes was just warning Xiao Shuang. If they really wanted to murder you, they wouldn't have used such an unexpected method." "Who do you think it is? What kind of warning?" Shen Yiyan asked again, his tone even colder. Hua Zixing remained silent and didn't speak. Lu Shuang realized that something was wrong. He turned and looked at Hua Zixing. "It's you?" "Of course not. I can't wait for you to stay in the president's office every day and be happy. Why would they use such a method to scare you away?" Hua Zixing denied immediately. "So, it's Nan Gongyu?" Lu Shuang guessed again and frowned. "I don't know. I don't dare to make any careless assertions." Hua Zixing had a troubled expression. Her eyes were misty, making her look lovely. Lu Shuang didn't have the heart to ask more questions. He said to Shen Yiyan, "After I rushed out of the room, Nan Gongyu also rushed out of her room and said that there were snakes in her room. When she ran towards me, I saw a snake in her pocket." Hua Zixing became even more worried. "Yiyan, Hua Rui is my younger sister. If she has done anything wrong, it's all my fault as her elder sister. I didn't restrain or regulate her behavior. If you want someone to fall into the snake pit to vent your hatred, then I'm willing to take her place. I'll teach my younger sister well. She's still young and has been taught by my father. My mother spoils him too much." Hua Zixing choked with sobs. Shen Yiyan didn't drive the car. She looked ahead solemnly. "Zixing, don't force me. A ruler doesn't go back on his words. I've already told my subordinates." "I know. I did it willingly. I don't blame you." Hua Zixing's eyes turned red and tears flowed down. Lu Shuang couldn't bear to see it. He wanted to say that it was fine, but then he thought about how that person released a snake. It was a poisonous snake. She was lucky that she didn't get bitten. Otherwise, she would have died. With her character of abhorring evil, she really couldn't let it go so easily. Shen Yiyan was also silent for 3 seconds. Are you trying to force me onto the path of inhumanity and injustice? If I force my wife to fall into the snake pit, how will my subordinates look at me? How will the people outside look at me? You got a good reputation and saved your younger sister, but I'll be called a tyrant. Besides, it wasn't your fault in the first place. I can't punish you. Hua Rui is my mother's most beloved daughter. If you do this, they'll definitely hate you, Hua Zixing reminded. Aren't you also your mother's most beloved daughter? Shen Yiyan glanced at her coldly. A gentleman's mistakes are the same as his fate. She released the snake to harm others, so she should have known that this would happen. Also, the person who released the snake shouldn't be your younger sister. What? If it's not my younger sister, who could it be? Hua Zixing's eyes were filled with hope. Shen Yiyan's lips curled up. Nangong Yu. Hua Zixing's eyes dimmed again. She frowned. I already warned her yesterday. How could it still be her? So, she definitely can't stay in the president's residence anymore, Shen Yiyan said with certainty. She started the car. A complicated look flashed across Hua Zixing's eyes. She had been by Shen Yiyan's side for 3 years. Shen Yiyan's judgment had never been wrong. Yiyan, I think you know Nangong Yu's identity. She's the 3rd daughter of the Nangong family. Although the Nangong family isn't as powerful and influential as the Hua family, they're still considered a tyrant in Country M. Nangong Yu came to Country A with me. Her parents have high hopes for her. If you let her die in Country A, I'm worried that her parents will punish you and pressure the Hua family. So? Shen Yiyan asked. It didn't matter at all. If the Hua family doesn't give me an explanation, he'll definitely sue the president. Although the president is my father's brother, the Hua family and the Xiang family are fighting fiercely. If the president doesn't pressure the Hua family, the Xiang family will have an excuse to impeach the Hua family. The Nangong family will also side with the Xiang family. This will shake the Hua family's power, and the Hua family's power will be smaller. How can they support you? These are all mutually reinforcing relationships. Yiyan, please think twice, Hua Zixing said anxiously. Shen Yiyan stepped off the car. Lu Shuang's heart tightened. She didn't understand politics, but she could still understand what Hua Zixing said. These were all deeply intertwined relationships. If she were to make a move, it would affect the foundation. It seemed that this matter would be left unsettled. She was still a little disappointed. However, compared to power, she was as light as a feather. She must guard against Nangong Yu in the future. Otherwise, she would die before she could take revenge. Shen Yiyan held Lu Shuang's hand firmly, as if she was giving him a promise. Lu Shuang looked at Shen Yiyan in surprise. Their eyes met and he saw her disappointment. He didn't want her to be disappointed again. After she left, he blamed himself every day. If he could have loved her a little more, would she have been reluctant to leave him? He turned around and looked at Hua Zixing coldly. So, Nangong Yu's matter must not be spread to Country M. You understand, Hua Zixing. What? Hua Zixing was terrified. Shen Yiyan's gaze made her panic. Her life is a life. My woman's life is more precious in my eyes. So, Nangong Yu's life is mine, Shen Yiyan said with certainty. Lu Shuang's heart trembled violently. It was as if he had been hit by something. His eyes were locked and his mind went blank for a few seconds. Hello everyone, I'm Qin Tang Tang. You can follow me on WeChat. Chapter 580. Do we really have to do that? You're not such an irrational person. If Nangong Yu dies, it won't just affect the Hua family, it'll affect you too. Your position is already in danger. Hua Zixing looked at Shen Yiyan in disbelief. Shen Yiyan curled her lips and said nonchalantly, if the Nangong family wants to betray us, I guarantee that they'll disappear from America within a year. Hua Zixing lowered her head. Her long eyelashes covered her face, hiding the strange emotions in her eyes. Lu Shuang didn't want Shen Yiyan to ruin herself for her. If that happened, she would feel guilty and uneasy for the rest of her life. I have an idea. What is it? Hua Zixing looked at Lu Shuang with hope. If it was really Nan Gongyu who did it, I think she's only so fearless because she's from the Nan Gong family. If I don't punish her properly, I'll probably die again. I cherish my life and I don't want to die yet, Lu Shuang said. Hua Zixing didn't expect him to say this in front of Shen Yiyan. It was the complete opposite of what she had expected. Shouldn't she be begging for mercy for Nan Gongyu? All the female leads on TV acted like that. But if she dies, it'll be hard to explain. After all, in the eyes of the Hua family and the Nan Gong family, I'm as insignificant as a feather. Besides, I'm not dead yet. Why should their daughter die? They feel it's unfair and angry. If I were Nan Gongyu's parents, I wouldn't be able to take it lying down, Lu Shuang said. He continued. Hua Zixing's hope was reignited. She looked at Lu Shuang and reminded him, if Nan Gongyu is hurt, it'll cause a political war. Send her back to America and tell the Nan Gong family what she did. That way, they'll feel guilty and I'll be safe, Lu Shuang said. This time, she was being merciful. For the sake of too many emotions that she couldn't even understand. No, Xiaoyu won't be able to take it lying down. She knows about your relationship with Ian. If she casually criticizes you on the internet, it'll be a huge blow to Ian. Those people in the political arena love to make groundless accusations. Hua Zixing stopped her. Lu Shuang shrugged. She didn't know what to do, so she pursed her lips and didn't say anything. Shen Yiyan's fingers tapped on the steering wheel, a sharp glint in his eyes. Hua Zixing, you understand. Nan Gongyu can't return to the country. I can't let her off for bullying my woman. Hua Zixing wanted to say something but stopped. If I can't even protect her, how can I answer to the Nan Gong family? Can you give me some face and not kill her? Why don't you help me think of a way to not kill her, but to punish her and keep her from returning to China? Shen Yiyan asked coldly. Hua Zixing clenched her fists and lowered her head. Shen Yiyan drove. Hua Zixing said slowly, if it's confirmed that she did it, prepare 10 non-poisonous snakes and put them in the vat. Let her stay in the vat for 10 minutes as punishment. I will warn her again. If she does it again, I won't give her another chance. She won't do it again, Shen Yiyan said with certainty. He stopped at the door and looked at the pale Nan Gongyu sharply. Nan Gongyu walked over and said to Shen Yiyan, it's so scary. There's a snake in the room. I was almost bitten. Shen Yiyan opened the car door and got out of the car. He looked down at her. You came out of the room. You're wearing quite a lot. I was about to come out for dinner and saw the snake by the bed, Nan Gongyu explained. Hua Zixing also got out of the car and looked at Nan Gongyu with a complicated gaze. Really? I heard that there were snakes in your pocket too. Shen Yiyan scrutinized her eyes. Yeah, I was scared to death. A snake even crawled into my pocket, Nan Gongyu said in fear. Which pocket? Where's the snake now? Nan Gongyu paused. I don't know. I crawled and the snake bit me, so I ran for my life. I don't know where the snake went when I was running. Colonel Cheng, Shen Yiyan shouted. Colonel Cheng came out of the room respectfully. Hua Rui and her old servant came out of the room and walked to Hua Zixing. Sister, what's going on? They said there were snakes in the room. This has nothing to do with you, right? Hua Zixing asked in a low voice. Hua Rui shook her head. I don't know what happened. Hua Zixing nodded and didn't say anything else. She sighed with a terrible expression. Check her pocket, Shen Yiyan ordered. Colonel Cheng obeyed and searched Nan Gongyu's pocket. Shen Yiyan saw the tape on Nan Gongyu's pocket and looked at her coldly. What else do you have to say? What else? I don't understand what you mean, President. Nan Gongyu said in a panic. She moved closer to Hua Zixing and asked for her help. Are you still going to argue? What is the tape used for? We just need to get it checked by the forensics department, Shen Yiyan said coldly. Nan Gongyu's face was ashen. What does it have to do with me? I don't know anything. Shen Yiyan sneered. Although he didn't like Nan Gongyu's face, he knew how she felt about him. He usually ignored her for Hua Zixing's sake. But now that she had hurt his woman, he couldn't let her go. Do you need me to tell you how you did it? Nan Gongyu clenched her fists. You drugged the snake and put it in your pocket. But you didn't know when the snake would wake up, and you were worried that it would bite you when you grabbed it. So, you used the tape to secure the snake in your pocket and exposed its head. When you wanted to use it, you could easily grab its head. If you want to prove it, I think there are your fingerprints on the tape in your pocket, Shen Yiyan said confidently. Nan Gongyu staggered 2 steps back. Shen Yiyan confirmed his thoughts from her reaction. He narrowed his eyes and continued, the reason why you did this, I think it's because of the second-hand preparations you made. If Lu Shuang was bitten to death by the snake in the room, you didn't have to do anything. If Lu Shuang wasn't bitten to death in the room, he would definitely rush out when he found the snake. Then, you pretended that there was a snake in the room and chased after Lu Shuang. You held the snake's head in your pocket and made sure that it bit Lu Shuang. But you didn't expect Lu Shuang to find out that there was a snake in your pocket. You also didn't expect Lu Shuang to run away so fast. Nan Gongyu saw that she could not quibble, so she simply did not quibble. She raised her chin and said, yes, I did it. Ever since this woman came, how cold have you been to Madame? This woman is simply a femme fatale. If the president is with her, he will definitely be killed by her. So, for Madame and the president, I must kill her. Only when she is dead will the president have nothing to worry about. Chapter 581. Xiao Yu, don't talk nonsense. Lu Shuang has only been here for 2 days. I haven't been left out. Yesterday, Lu Shuang saved the Prime Minister and averted a crisis. How could you do such a thing? Hua Zixing said. Madam, don't lie to yourself. I saw them when I went to the president's room to deliver breakfast this morning. Hua Zixing slapped Nan Gongyu before she could finish her sentence. Nonsense. You were lying in bed with a fever this morning. I was the one who took care of you. How could you go to the president's room? Nan Gongyu, what are you trying to do? Hua Zixing said angrily. Her hands were trembling. Nan Gongyu covered her flushed face and looked at Hua Zixing in disbelief. She saw the anger and warning in Hua Zixing's eyes and her hostility disappeared. She pursed her lips and lowered her head. She said softly, I did this for the president and madam. I didn't do anything wrong. Ian, Xiao Yu is mine. She made a mistake, so I'll teach her a lesson. Is that okay? Hua Zixing said gently. Shen Yiyan nodded. Hua Zixing brought Nan Gongyu to her room. Hua Rui and his maid immediately followed. Lu Shuang stayed in the car thoughtfully and didn't get out. Shen Yiyan opened the door, sat in the driver's seat and said, you don't have to worry. This kind of thing won't happen again in the future. The bedding in your room and mine will be changed, and every corner of the room will be cleaned again to make sure that there are no snakes left. Snakes are timid. Snakes are timid animals. As long as you don't provoke them, they won't bite. Shen Yiyan, don't you think that we were wrong first? We've gone too far. Hua Zixing is a generous and gentle woman. To be honest, you really shouldn't let her down. Lu Shuang said whatever was on his mind. Shen Yiyan frowned and held her chin to make her face him. She said sternly with a commanding tone, we've already talked about this. I don't want to bring it up again. I don't want to repeat my relationship with Hua Zixing. So, don't say these things again. Don't even think about it, you know it, I know it, but others don't. Don't forget who you are. The mistakes you make will be magnified. You might even lose your life because of a small thing. Lu Shuang also said seriously. Shen Yiyan paused for a moment, and her eyes flashed with surprise. Are you concerned about me? Lu Shuang's mind was in a mess. He turned his face away, flipped his hair, and pondered. She didn't know if it was because she cared about him, but she felt that it wasn't right. She looked at him and said, Hua Zixing is right. You and the Hua family are in the same boat. You both share the same interests. Hua Zixing might not care about my existence, but her family would definitely feel sad for her. Because of politics, a beautiful woman sacrificed her happiness. I promised her that after everything was settled, I would let her return to the man she loved. But she didn't sever ties with the man she loved in your marriage. The two of you know that it's a fake marriage, but others don't know. If I'm by your side, it'll be dangerous for you every minute. If you're not by my side, every minute is torture for me, Shen Yiyan interrupted him and said. Lu Shuang paused for a moment, and there was a strange feeling in his heart. Shen Yiyan couldn't really love her, could she? It was unimaginable. Her figure wasn't the best, her looks weren't the best, and her family background wasn't the best. Even her brain was barely passable. Your brain must have been caught in the door. Lu Shuang blurted out. Shen Yiyan patted Lu Shuang's head and said helplessly, That's the only way I can be a match made in heaven with you. She could tell that he was scolding her, but she didn't know why she couldn't get angry at this moment. Her mind was in a mess, and she couldn't think. I want some peace and quiet. She pushed the car door open and got out. It was much colder outside than in the car. She gathered her clothes, and then remembered that she was still wearing Shen Yiyan's coat. Wasn't this too ostentatious? She got into the car again, and took off her coat for Shen Yiyan. Get out of the car, and let me be alone in the car. When we get back, ask the housekeeper to send me a down jacket. Put it on, don't catch a cold. I'm stronger than you. Shen Yiyan threw the coat to Lu Shuang, opened the door, got out of the car, and went to the villa. She wrapped herself in Shen Yiyan's coat, and smelled the familiar scent on his body. She leaned on the car frame and stared at the President Palace. She and Shen Yiyan thought that it was a mistake. 5 years ago, she went on a blind date, and she was set up by Su Jiran, that pervert. She and Shen Yiyan slept together, and there was no first time. Thinking about it this way, with Shen Yiyan's wealth and intelligence, it was not easy for Su Jiran to set him up. He probably beat him at his own game. In the next 3 years, she lived a life of a monk. Although no man chased after her, and she could not find a boyfriend, she never thought that she could have a relationship with Shen Yiyan. At that time, she was young and energetic and loved to play. When she finally got drunk and made up her mind to have sex, she did not expect that she would have sex with Shen Yiyan. No, she did not expect it, but it was all under Shen Yiyan's control. Moreover, he deliberately made her pregnant. She stayed by Shen Yiyan's side for Baiya. She was unwilling, humiliated, forced, helpless, and rejected. During the 2 years she spent with Shen Yiyan, she treated him as a cage, and every day she thought about escaping. Including this time, when she came back, the first thing she thought about when she saw Shen Yiyan was revenge. After revenge, she still wanted to leave. She did not like him, and she had never liked him. But, if Shen Yiyan really loved her, he would do something for her, and she was quite touched. After all, in her impression, he was arrogant, difficult to get along with, selfish, and cold-blooded. She was also touched when he said that he was willing to offend his political partners for her. Now she was not young anymore, and there was no longer a pure love. When looking at a suitable man, first of all, she looked at his appearance, whether she could accept him or not, and then looked at his character, temper, personality, hobbies, behavior, past experience, and then looked at his income, real estate, and finally, his parents and relatives. After passing all these, she would not easily give all her feelings. She would try to get along with him, and feel that he was good to her, and she might be happy with him, then she would start to fall in love seriously. But she also started to fall in love seriously. It was not like when she was young, when she saw a handsome man, she would fall in love passionately, without considering anything else, including her future life and sustainable development. Her reason told her that she and Shen Yan could not be together, so she had never given her feelings to him, and she felt a little burdened. Chapter 582. Don't you think you're stupid enough? Shen Yan's voice could be heard. Lu Shuang raised her head and looked at him. She blushed at the thought of what he had said earlier on. She felt that it was not a good thing to be in such a strange mood right now. She purposely took a deep breath and curled her lips. I'm very smart, all right. I've known you for almost 16 years, but I really didn't realize that. Shen Yan did not hold back at all. Lu Shuang could not help but roll his eyes. Didn't he say that he liked her? It seemed like she was overthinking again. This guy always knew how to make fun of her. She locked the car door. Shen Yan, he could not open the car door. He frowned slightly. Stop fooling around. If you don't play the game, the bug will be gone the day after tomorrow. Oh, right. She sighed. It was better for her to play the game. It was not so troublesome. From Monday onwards, there were still many things waiting for her to do. Lu Shuang unlocked the car door. Shen Yan threw her down jacket into the car and closed the door. Lu Shuang changed into his down jacket and opened the car door from the other side. It was cold. This winter was colder than usual, wasn't it? Shen Yan walked toward her. Lu Shuang took a deep breath. Nangongyu is quite unlucky. She was out the moment I came. One must always be wary of others. One must never have the intention to harm others. She coveted something that she shouldn't covet. Besides, she is not a good person. She deserved it. Shen Yan's eyes were cold. But if I didn't come back, you wouldn't have these troubles, right? Lu Shuang asked. Shen Yan hugged her waist and pulled her to his side. He said with certainty, don't doubt it. You being overseas is the biggest trouble for me. Lu Shuang stared at him and was stunned for a moment. She elbowed his stomach. Let go of me. Don't you know to keep a low profile? Is it appropriate to be hugging like this in public? Those who are here are all my confidants. Don't worry. Huarui, right? Nangongyu, right? Lu Shuang pointed at the sky. Satellite? All right, I got it. He just couldn't help but want to hug her, as if hugging her would make him feel at ease. This was a kind of addiction. He let go of her and walked in front. Let's go. I'll play games with you. You're the president who has a lot of things to deal with every day. Why do you feel that I'm a femme fatale when you play games with me? Lu Shuang was thinking and talking to himself. When Shen Yan heard that, he looked at her and smiled. It has nothing to do with you. I haven't had a single day of rest in the 6 months that you weren't around. Weekends are supposed to be my break time, and I want to relax too. Moreover, this game is my salary to begin with. You helped me test it and discovered that I'll give you a bonus later. Really? Lu Shuang's guilt suddenly disappeared after hearing what he said. There was not a trace of it left. Shen Yan looked at her smile. I'll give you 2 choices. 1, I'll give you 3 million, and you can buy whatever jewelry you want. 2, I'll listen to you in bed for a month. Then, I choose the first option, he. Lu Shuang said sneakily. Little miser. Shen Yan said dotingly and poked her forehead lightly. She was older than him, so she poked his forehead too. Big miser. That's why we're a match made in heaven. Shen Yan said with a smile and held her hand. She put her hand behind her back. Shen Yan did not force her and brought her back to the room. The room was cleaned in a short while. The bedsheets and quilts were all changed. Lu Shuang glanced at the room and felt a chill in his heart. Are you sure that all the snakes have been cleared out? Don't worry. Don't forget that snakes are cold-blooded animals and need to hibernate. So, they're easier to catch and they're not aggressive, Shaniyan explained. No wonder those two snakes didn't attack me. Instead, they burrowed into my blanket. That Nangong Yu really is a little stupid. Hee hee. Lu Shuang rejoiced. It was just a false alarm and he could still chase Nangong Yu away. To be honest, he did not like Nangong Yu, who was always against her. It was a blessing in disguise. In Hua Zixing's room, Nangong Yu knelt on the ground and begged, "Madam, you have to save me. I did it for you. Lu Shuang is too much. He seduced the president in broad daylight. I told you to stop targeting Lu Shuang. Stop targeting Lu Shuang. Why didn't you listen?" Hua Zixing was annoyed and raised her voice. I can't stand it anymore. Lu Shuang is such a bully. He deserves to be punished for being such an arrogant mistress. I was supposed to be foolproof. Nangong Yu was indignant. Foolproof? Where did you get the snake from? It's winter now, and snakes need to hibernate. Even if you wake the snake up, it will be lazy and want to sleep. Why would it attack people? Hua Zixing said angrily. The snakes were given to me by Momo. Nangong Yu looked at the maid beside Hua Rui. The maid walked forward and knelt on the ground. She lowered her head but said calmly, Miss Nangong asked me to get a few snakes. She wanted them to be poisonous. I didn't dare to disobey her order. Hua Rui, did you know about this? Hua Zixing looked at Hua Rui. Miss is sleeping. I didn't tell her, Momo said. That's nonsense, Momo. You're so old. I didn't expect you to not only not stop little you but also follow her. There are so many poisonous snakes in the presidential palace. Someone must have done it. You must have thought of it, Hua Zixing blamed Momo. I didn't expect Miss Nangong to use it to kill people. I thought she wanted to play. I'm sorry. I won't make this mistake again, Momo said with her head lowered. Sister, don't be angry at Momo can only listen to Miss Nangong's orders. Moreover, if Momo refuses, Miss Nangong can still find someone else to get the snakes. Moreover, she obviously did it when you weren't here. Hua Rui spoke up for her. Momo. Hua Zixing understood that Nangong Yu did it on purpose when she wasn't here. The president is very angry now. How do you think we should calm him down? I won't do it again, Nangong Yu said with a pale face. Shaniyan said that you won't have another chance, Hua Zixing said. He wants to send me back to China. Then wouldn't I have wasted 3 years of my youth here? What would my father think of me? What would my mother think of me? Nangong Yu stood up agitatedly. That's why I told you not to act rashly. If I didn't act rashly, would I still have another chance? You've always said that you would make arrangements for me. You've said that for almost 3 years. Where did you arrange for me? I saw that you and that Lu Shuang have an elder sister and a younger sister. You're very close. You don't want to arrange for me at all, Nangong Yu complained. Hello everyone, I'm Qin Tang Tang. You can follow me on WeChat. Chapter 583. Didn't I arrange anything for you? Every time Shaniyan gets drunk, you're the one who accompanies her. Every time Shaniyan falls asleep, you're the one who's disappointing. Hua Zixing stood up angrily. I'm disappointing. I'm disappointing. Alright, send me back. I don't want to stay here anymore. However, you have to think carefully. After I go back, I will definitely expose the relationship between Shaniyan and Lu Shuang. I will ask my father to seek justice for me. I won't let you have it easy either. I don't believe that the power of my Nangong family will always be the same. I don't believe that the Nangong family's power will always be half-hearted, Nan Gongyu said confidently. Hua Zixing's eyes gradually turned cold. She took a deep breath. She was as calm as the surface of a lake in winter. I understand. But I have to explain to the president. Xiao Yu, I'll have to trouble you first. What trouble? Nan Gongyu asked domineeringly. Snakes hibernate in winter. I'll prepare 10 non-poisonous snakes. You just have to stay in the tank for a while and let Shen Yan take a look, Hua Zixing said gently. Why should I do that? I didn't do anything wrong, Nan Gongyu rejected her. Think about it in my room. I'll come in later. Hua Zixing walked towards the door and closed it. She asked 2 guards to stand guard at the door. She went up to the 3rd floor and looked at her plants. Hua Rui and Mo followed her up. Sister, what's going on? Hua Rui understood the gist of it and wanted to verify it. Xiao Rui, remember, you can't tell anyone about this, Hua Zixing said solemnly. Is Lu Shuang really brother-in-law's lover? Hua Rui asked again. Shen Yan and I have an arranged marriage. You know my health condition. Back then, the Hua family was suppressed by the Xiang family. The Xiang family was getting more and more powerful. Although my marriage to Shen Yan can improve the Hua family's reputation, Shen Yan can also request the Hua family to provide the weapons provided by the M family. However, the Hua family still needed a strong military backing, and that was the Nan Gong family. I looked for Nan Gongyu and specially arranged for Nan Gongyu and Shen Yan to meet. Nan Gongyu fell in love with Shen Yan at first sight. I told Nan Gongyu about my body's condition. I wanted Nan Gongyu to become Shen Yan's woman and give birth to Shen Yan's child. Her child would be the future president of country A. Because of this, I am infertile, Hua Zixing explained. Brother-in-law doesn't like Nan Gongyu, so he found another woman. That's why Nan Gongyu got angry and poisoned that woman. Hua Rui understood. I've been with Shen Yan for 3 years, and he has never touched any other woman, except for Lu Shuang. Lu Shuang's position cannot be shaken by anyone, and I've been looking for an opportunity. We can only wait. Hua Zixing said. Then, that woman really can't live. Only when she dies will the person arranged by my sister have a chance, Hua Rui analyzed. Xiao Rui, just keep this to yourself. Don't do anything, understand? Hua Zixing held Hua Rui's shoulder and reminded her. Hua Rui pursed her lips and didn't say a word. You just need to capture Xing Buhua, promise me. Hua Zixing needed Hua Rui's promise. Xing Buhua didn't even come to see me. He's very difficult to deal with, Hua Rui said dejectedly. To many men in power, it doesn't matter who they marry. Moreover, you have stunning looks and a healthy body. What they need is power behind their backs, power that can bring them to a higher level. Xing Buhua might just be baiting you. I'll arrange a banquet so that you can meet him as soon as possible. When you meet him, you must hold him firmly in the palm of your hand. Tomorrow, I will let the people from Phantom train you. Go buy more clothes in the afternoon. I will transfer the money to your card later. Hua Zixing said. Sister, I'm worried about you. You're so perfect, Hua Rui said, her heart aching. Hua Zixing smiled bitterly. I'm not in good health. I can't even fulfill the responsibilities of a woman. How can I be considered perfect? Medical science is so advanced now. They'll definitely be able to take good care of you. When that time comes, you'll have brother-in-law in your hands. I took a look at that Lu Shuang just now. His looks and temperament aren't as good as yours. But she has a bright life. When I'm with her, I can feel that she's full of life and vitality. She's generous, lazy, and carefree. This kind of personality is very attractive to men, Hua Zixing said with a smile. Sister, Hua Rui called out. Hua Zixing smiled and said, it's a pity that she doesn't understand men. I'm just waiting for the right time. There's no rush. Haste makes waste. I know what to do. Hua Rui nodded. Ever since she was young, her sister had always been the most reassuring one. What about Nan Gongyu? She's a little too arrogant. If we let her go, it'll be very disadvantageous to the Hua family, Hua Rui analyzed. Hua Zixing's smile remained unchanged. Shen Yiyan is the smartest person I've ever met. His strategizing and strategies are at the peak of perfection. What do you mean? Hua Rui didn't understand. Nan Gongyu, don't even think about going back to America in this lifetime, Hua Zixing said with certainty. She looked at Mo and said, please prepare 10 snakes. They don't have any poison. Once they're ready, I'll invite the president. Yes. Lu Shuang was having a lot of fun when there was a knock on the door. Shen Yiyan's eyes sharpened. He walked to the door and opened it. Mo nodded and said respectfully, President, Madam is asking for you. He replied. When he turned around, Lu Shuang's gaze was still on the computer. Some things were too cruel. He didn't want her to come into contact with them. It was good enough that he could help her vent her anger. He walked out of the door and entered Hua Zixing's room. I'm ready. I know what to do, Hua Zixing said gently to Shen Yiyan. Shen Yiyan nodded. You've worked hard. Hua Zixing looked at Nan Gongyu and said gently, go in. Nan Gongyu pursed her lips and looked into the vat. The snakes were twisting together. Although their movements were slow, it was disgusting to look at. Go in, Hua Zixing said again. Nan Gongyu took a deep breath. I don't want to. No one wants to. You should have thought of no one when you released the poisonous snakes. Shen Yiyan said coldly. He bent his arm and looked at the time. He was a little impatient. I still have something to do. Don't waste my time. Hua Zixing looked at Mo and nodded. Mo carried Nan Gongyu. Let go of me. You dare? If you throw me in, I'll tell my father and he'll kill you, Nan Gongyu shouted. Mo threw her into the vat. Ah! Nan Gongyu screamed and wanted to run out. Cover it, Hua Zixing said. She couldn't bear to watch and turned around. Chapter 584. Ah. Nan Gongyu screamed and knocked on the lid. Let her out in 10 minutes. You know what to do next. Thank you, Shen Yiyan said in a low voice. She turned and walked out of Hua Zixing's room. Sister, did he treat you like this before? Hua Rui felt that it was unfair. He is being polite to me, but he is even more distant to others. He is that kind of person, so don't feel sad, and don't feel that it is unfair. The more powerful the Hua family is, the more he will not look down on me. Hua Zian said softly, revealing a smile, telling Hua Rui that she was fine. The more she acted like this, the more Hua Rui felt sorry for her. Sister, you're worth better. What I have has always been the best. Alright, it's going to be too bloody. Go back with Mo first. Don't come here for a few days. I'll inform you when I'm done arranging the banquet, Hua Zixing said gently. I think Nan Gongyu will hate you too. She won't serve you well. I'll ask Mo to stay here. If you need anything, just tell her, Hua Rui said worriedly. There's no need. There's a maid at home. I'll get her to do it if I need anything. Don't worry, go back quickly. Remember, don't say anything you see or hear here. You won't go either, Hua Zixing reminded. Mo nodded to show respect. Hua Rui left Hua Zixing reluctantly. When the 10 minutes were up, Hua Zixing opened the lid. Nan Gongyu had torn off all the snakes. Her hands and legs were bitten by the snakes. Her body was covered in blood, but she didn't know if it was hers or the snakes. She looked at Hua Zixing with hatred and said sternly, Hua Zixing, you're a coward. When I go back, I won't let you off. Hua Zixing clapped her hands and 2 guards walked in. Take her away. Take good care of her. I don't want anything to happen to her. Hua Zixing, what do you mean? Nan Gongyu saw the two guards walking towards her. Xiao Yu, it doesn't matter if you believe me or not, I've always treated you as a sister. You're too impatient and don't use your brain. Unfortunately, you can't accompany me to the end. Nan Gongyu's face paled. Do you want to kill me? Hua Zixing shook her head and looked at Nan Gongyu pitifully. I've said it before, I've always treated you like a sister. As long as I'm alive, I'll keep you safe. Perhaps it's good for you to calm down and give me some time. I'll save you. What do you mean? Hua Zixing, what do you mean by that? Nan Gongyu grabbed Hua Zixing's shoulder in a flustered manner. You shouldn't have touched her. She's Shen Yiyan's Achilles heel. I've talked to Shen Yiyan about the pros and cons. The Nangong family, the Hua family, and the Shen family are bound by benefits. But he won't let you off. I'm sorry, Xiao Yu. Hua Zixing looked at the guards. Take her away. Seeing this, Nan Gongyu knew that she was going to be unlucky. She had to return to the country and seek her father's protection. She grabbed the fruit knife on the coffee table and rushed towards Hua Zihua. But before she could touch Hua Zihua, she was kicked by Hua Zihua. Nan Gongyu fell to the ground and was caught by the guards. Nan Gongyu looked at Hua Zixing in astonishment. She didn't know that Hua Zixing knew martial arts. Wasn't Hua Zixing in poor health and congenital heart disease? How could she know martial arts? And it didn't seem like her level was low. Nan Gongyu was so shocked that she couldn't say a word. She was taken away. In the past 2 days, Baiya locked herself in the library to mark the papers, and she was in a daze. Xing Buhua finished his work and prepared to go to Baiya's place to help. When he walked out of his room, Xing Shang stood in front of him and looked at him. Xing Buhua called out, Dad. Dad, I hope you know what your responsibility is, Xing Shang said sincerely. Of course, I'll always remember it, Xing Buhua said with a smile. You've been to Baiya's place too many times recently. It's about time you get in touch with Huarui. After all, there's only a year until the next presidential election. It's urgent, Xing Shang reminded him. Xing Buhua chuckled and said with certainty, I'm afraid the Hua family will be in trouble soon. I'm the one they want to curry favor with. I don't need to waste any effort. What do you mean? Are you talking about Shen Yiyan's downfall? The Hua family has its own foundation. We need the M nation's support. I just found out from Baiya that Shen Yiyan has a beloved woman by his side. He offended the Nangong family for this woman. If the Nangong family joins the Xiang family, do you think the Hua family will still be able to stand in the M nation? The Xiang family is stronger than the Hua family. The Xiang family's weapons are the best. The Hua family is just relying on the fact that they are a relative of the royal family. I'm afraid there will be an earth-shattering coup in the M nation soon, Xing Buhua guessed. If that happens, I'm afraid Shen Yiyan's position as president will be gone. Our biggest competitors are Zhuochuani and Su Zheng. Zhuochuani? Xing Buhua laughed. A sinister look flashed across his eyes. I won't let that old fox go. Are you sure he's related to your brother's matter? Xing Shang understood the meaning behind Xing Buhua's words. It should be him, Xing Buhua said in a low voice. How's your brother now? Xing Shang asked. Xing Buhua's eyes darkened. His expression was heavy, concealing his complicated emotions. He's still the same. Since you're sure that the Xiang family will rise, you should keep in contact with them. I remember the Xiang family has 2 female concubines who are at the age of marriage trial. They're not as stunning as Huarui, but they're passable and talented, Xing Shang reminded. Annoyance flashed across Xing Buhua's eyes. He curled his lips to hide his true emotions. I know what to do. As for Baiya's side, you just need to be moderate. You don't have to go there every day. In terms of diplomacy, they used to be Shen Yiyan's people. You should focus on this aspect and keep in contact with them. Xing Buhua said perfunctorily, I know what I'm doing. Also, I've received insider news that Sheniyan is going to have a military parade before the new year. I'm not sure of his motive, Xing Shang said worriedly. Xing Buhua had already seen through it. I didn't expect Sheniyan to be an infatuated man. I couldn't tell it all before this. I thought he had no weakness. If he has a weakness, it'll be easier to deal with him. You're so secretive. You can't even tell me, Xing Shang said helplessly. I don't want you to worry about things that I can handle. You're old and can enjoy your remaining years, Xing Buhua said with a smile. He pushed Xing Shang downstairs. Dad, I'm going out. Chapter 585. Xing Buhua didn't even turn back. He raised his hand above his head and waved. Then, he got into the car and drove away. His brother's woman. That made him feel uncomfortable. He stopped the car by the roadside and pinched his nose. Twins were very strange. They had the same looks, DNA, and even telepathy. His father was worried that someone would hurt them, so he was taken away by Xing Shang the moment he was born. Other than Xing Shang and his father, his mother didn't know about it. As expected, his family was wiped out. His brother survived because he was lucky. He knew about Gu Lingqing's existence a long time ago. He also knew that Gu Lingqing was his twin brother. Because they had the same looks, he was worried that it would cause a commotion and some people would speculate. It was also for his brother's growth that he chose to work in the black operation. Not many people had seen him and he had never returned to China. If he didn't know that something had happened to his brother, he wouldn't have returned to China. When he was investigating his brother's death, he found out that Shen Ao and Xing Dongqing were the murderers. He knew that he shouldn't have, but he liked Baiya the first time he saw her. It wasn't the first time either. She had been appearing in his dreams for 5 years. She would appear a few times a month. His phone rang, interrupting his thoughts. Xing Buhua glanced at the caller ID and answered the call with a heavy heart. Did you find anything? Not yet. Hua Zixing is very cautious. She chased me and her sister away. Also, the security is very tight. I couldn't get any information, MOMO reported. You've done a good job this time. I will reward you. It's all because of your good leadership and the perfect plan. I don't dare to take credit, MOMO said humbly. You deserve it. Since we can't find out where Nangong Yu is locked up, let's get her brother here. It'll be good for Sheniyan to get busy, Xing Buhua ordered. Why don't we just expose the relationship between Sheniyan and Lu Shuang? In that case, Sheniyan will suffer a great blow, suggested MOMO. Xing Buhua lowered his eyes and the image of Baiya flashed across his mind. She asked him to protect Lu Shuang. He knew that Lu Shuang was very important to her. Since he had agreed, he didn't want Lu Shuang to die with Sheniyan. He was afraid that Baiya wouldn't forgive him if she found out the truth one day. Do you have direct evidence to prove that they are related? Xing Buhua asked coldly. Nope. But Hua Zixing admitted it. Hua Zixing is unusually calm and rational. Besides, she knows the big picture. She's definitely not what you see. When Sheniyan is pushed to the forefront because of Lu Shuang, she will definitely side with Sheniyan. Moreover, Sheniyan can become the president because he controls the media. Most of them don't have concrete evidence, so it's hard for them to make an impact on him, Xing Buhua analyzed. I get it. I'll use our diplomatic skills to get Nangong Yu's brother to visit, MOMO reported. Okay. Xing Buhua hung up the phone and looked at the rearview mirror. A light flashed across his eyes and he sped up. A car behind him sped up as well. He sped up and drove up the mountain. The car also drove up the mountain. When they reached the top, Xing Buhua stopped the car. The car followed closely behind. Xing Buhua leaned against the car door and lit a cigarette. The smoke lingered in the air. Qiuting got out of the car and ran to Xing Buhua. Xing Buhua, where are you going? Xing Buhua blew a puff of smoke at her and looked at her lazily. He said indifferently, does it have anything to do with you? You're going to see Baya, right? Qiuting said hatefully. Her eyes were filled with jealousy, hatred, and hostility. Xing Buhua frowned and put his hand on the car. He became more arrogant. I'm going to see Huarui. I heard that she's trying her best to see me. She's a famous beauty in Country M. I'm going to meet her. Why? You're going to marry Huarui? Qiuting was not calm anymore. In terms of looks, it's not a bad idea to marry her. As for the rest, I have to look at other aspects. After all, I have many choices now. Today, my father is going to introduce me to the daughter of the Xiang family. I can give it a try, Xing Buhua said. How did you become like this? Shameless. Qiuting said angrily. Her eyes were red. Qiuting, I hope you understand that I'm going to be the president in the future. My wife will be chosen by a famous family. I'm still thinking about which family, but this won't change. It's impossible between you and me, Xing Buhua said straightforwardly. You promised my father that you'd take good care of me. Qiuting sobbed. So I'll take good care of you like a sister. Qiuting, we grew up together. Don't fall in love with me. I'm not a good person. You know that, Xing Buhua said firmly. He twisted out the cigarette and opened the door. Qiuting pressed on the door of his car and asked, you like that Baya, don't you? That day when I came to see you, you were still sleeping. I heard you calling her name in your dreams. I've already told you about me and her. She's my brother's wife. I need to make use of her now. So I pretended to be her husband and played with her, Xing Buhua said. But you called her name. You can't lie. I thought about it, and I think you're lying to me, Qiuting said firmly. Call her name? Xing Buhua shrugged. She suspected me for a few days. I guess I was thinking about how to make her believe me even in my dreams. To be honest, you're the first and only person I can be honest with. Have you ever loved me? Qiuting begged. I haven't. Look at all the women around me. Which one of them isn't a hot beauty? You are my sister. I really have to go now. Otherwise, I won't be able to make it in time to save the damsel in distress. You can go back if you want. If you don't want to go back, I'll ask someone to give you money. You can live a casual life. Xing Buhua moved her hand away and got into the car. Qiuting stood there in a daze. She watched Xing Buhua leave, clenching her fists tightly. What should she do? She liked his unruly style. Xing Buhua got into the car. He glanced at the GPS and made a call. Lock on to Huarui's address. Calculate how long it will take me to get there. Yes, arrange a hero to save the damsel in distress. That's all. He hung up the phone and looked at Qiuting in the rearview mirror. He knew Qiuting too well. She wouldn't give up. He didn't want her to cause trouble for Baya. So, he could only shift the blame. Perhaps, by letting Qiuting create trouble, he could stop his father from marrying Huarui or the daughter of the Xiang family. With Baya, he didn't want to experience any other woman. Now, all he wanted to do was to get rid of the conflict and accompany Baya. Even if it was just boring marking papers with her, he felt very at ease, as if he was in a peaceful country, full of happiness. Hello, I'm Qin Tang Tang. You can follow me on WeChat. You're tuning into the Romantic Tales YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.